Welcome to Kranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Kranky, and this is the Kranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Kranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Kranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Kranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Reggae Boyz, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponents yield. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession, cause possession is our obsession. We built a team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change that style of play. Next coach, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play possession to ensure good. If I'm mute, see, I put you on mute, Conrad. I'm sorry, Conrad. Best Conrad. No, sir, and Ricardo, me having it on mute too. So we're back, people. We're back. Me, I forget me look at juice up in Ricardo. You look at music for warm you up. Yeah, Ricardo, man. Now rest me mute. You mute me, and I automatically mute too. But bless up, Melshire Walker. Thanks for joining. And Melshire, tell me to pronounce your name right now. I don't like to mispronounce people's name because I get perturbed when people mispronounce. And by the way, people, I'm live today, and I'm live and direct. I'm legal, as I call it, legally. See this? See this? It say Kranky Life on it. See the Kranky Life? So I'm legal. Nobody can take my name now. At least not US anyway. That's my trademark name from the patent office. Let me file for this from December, and I just got it. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Bless up. It's a good thing. So my Kranky Live name is my name in the US anyway, and my name alone. Anybody take it? Have to answer to me, even though I'm not sure what anybody will want that name anyway. But bless up, Seymour. Thanks for joining. Appreciate everybody will be here. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be thanks, Conrad. It's going to be a good show, people. It's going to be a good show. Bless up myself. It's going to be a good show. We'll talk some EPL because you have to go through the normal, regular routine. We'll talk some Mason Greenwood because the man is on fire. But the major topic today is JFF has canceled. I just see me have it there in the thumbnail. Cancel Reggae Boy YouTubers. And I'll talk about what that entails because it's been a very interesting week. Bless up, Ernest. Thanks for joining. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Even though it going to come in, don't let me have to ask the question again. Let me get some miserable. The Kranky name was a specific reason. It was twofold. One is Bless Jagams. One was, I think I'm an Arsenal fan, and Stan Kranky is the owner. And I used to be on a podcast where they used to beat Kranky all the time in the UK. And I agree with Kranky's strategy, which is a football team, like anything in life, should be self-sustainable. You shouldn't just spend your money like you didn't know how to earn it. And people who earn their money the hard way, like some of the crankies, by investing in the more traditional way, in the real estate, sports team, is different from a technology person, like your Microsoft or your Google, or more recently a Facebook, or even to some extent Amazon, where you earn your money through very quickly because the world has changed, right? So in that context, I believe if you earn it, you should invest it well and keep it. You shouldn't just waste it. So that's why I took the Kranky name, because I used to argue with them about it was the right strategy. Secondly, I can be a little bit cranky, actually. The C self, but I thought the A would be better because I didn't want people to label me as the C. So that was the sort of rationale for the name. And I figured I'm going to do, and you notice I do only main live show, right? I think I've only done one. Yesterday, I put out a video, which was a live show. And I will get to that for the reason for that. We'll get to the reason for that. But let me just jump into the EPL stuff first and get through that, because I think we should talk about that. Then we should talk about Greenwood, and then we'll jump to the main part of the show, which is enough JFF discussion, which they may not like, but it's going to be interesting. So if we go to we just go to the results pretty quickly this weekend. By the way, it was a really bad weekend for me. Bless up Caribbean rivers and seas. I hope you're a swimmer. Whatever you do is an interesting name. If I look at the results, I don't think I did well Saturday or Sunday. So I had Arsenal beating Brighton 2-1. We tied the game. The big discussion was about Declan Rice's red card. Was it a red card? I said I was very upset because I had a live stream on about the red card. I think it was poor judgment on the referee's part, and for a couple of reasons. One is, Pedro kicked the ball away from the halfway line to the goal, basically almost to the touch line in the first half. He got no yellow card. But then we see Declan Rice getting a yellow card, a second yellow. He had gotten a yellow card, which was deserved when he went in a tackle. I think he went in also on Max Kelman on attack, Veltman, I should say, on a tackle. And then he just barely touched the ball away because he was frustrated. He was called for a foul. He was frustrated. In frustration, we do stupid thing, right? He just touched the ball away. He got kicked. And he's the one who got the second yellow in the red. And that changed the game, because before that, we were pretty comfortable. We had scored a poor goal on Brighton's part, to be honest, because I don't know what Dunk was doing, but Saka won a ball from him. An easy ball should head out. Play a good pass into Havertz, who it was, the goalkeeper made it easy for him. I got grief on the stream that I was too critical, but I thought when a goalkeeper comes in no man's land, should lob it over his head. The second, the goal that they scored, though, I heard AFTV and others blaming Gabriel for that. And people like to blame Gabriel. He does make mistakes. Yes, he did, Chorus. But I'll say this, which is, that was Saliba's fault. The player ran off Saliba. He didn't run off Gabriel. Could Gabriel have gotten over quicker? It's hard. The pass was flat. It was between the lines. It was a brilliant pass, but that was Saliba's fault to me. But, no one likes to blame Saliba for anything or hold him accountable. They would always want to put it to Gabriel because he's a Rolls Royce and people give him the benefit of the doubt, like a Van Dijk. And so that was disappointing. And then after that, they had us on the ropes for somewhat, even though we had a bunch of chances in the first half, right? The one that Odegaard got, probably should have put away. Minzy, good evening.
Well, go on, Kranky.
Not much. Why? I say, why? Hey, YouTube, I pay you well. Hey, your mic so vicious. I tell you, Star, YouTube, the dollars are run. I'm quote to this.
I see your mic. May I have, man?
No, but it's a run. It sounds different. Trust me. Your voice sound like more like a radio voice.
Adjust the voice, man.
You sound like a choir voice. Don't sound like a radio voice.
Adjust the voice, man.
How you doing? Did you watch the game? Did you watch the Brighton Arsenal game?
Yeah, man, I watched that game.
What were your thoughts on the red card and the game?
The red card, I believe it was soft. However, when you check the rules, you must not provide obstruction. Initially, I thought the ball was moving and him foot does catch it. But on replays, multiple replays, I saw where he looked up and saw that the player was going to kick the ball and use his foot to slightly move the ball out of the player's direction or possession. I would say it is soft to give a card for that, but it's the rule. You get what I say? And in terms of because he was already on a card, you know.
Yeah.
The referee had no choice. But again, to me, it is. I believe it was a soft card.
Right.
Referee probably could have eased it up.
But he didn't get one to your Pedro did the first thing. The first half was much worse, wasn't it? He kicked the ball away. Kicked the ball way down the field.
Yeah, but when we look on that in a Kranky, the ball is out of play now.
But I'm saying you can't kick the ball away because you're slowing down. It's all about slowing down the play and creating that whole time concept, which is you're wasting time.
You know why I understand that point, but you know why I would say that this point is not so much because you have multiple footballs around the pitch.
Right.
So with him kicking away that ball, I don't think you're wasting 10 seconds, not even 15 seconds, because another ball was on another implement around the field. Right. So in that sense, I don't. I think Arsenal got the chance to win the game, but that far we don't have now score no goal. He might forget 10 and score 1. You know what I mean? Former Chelsea.
Well, no, they might big him up, and they might big him up big time. So him good. I mean,
I mean, want to get the game for win still, but Brighton really smelled the blood after that after that red card. They were applying the pressure. Their confidence started to lift, and they took the game to Arsenal. Good defending in terms of Arsenal holding them off, but I think the forward out-muscled the player in terms of
you mean Gabriel?
Of the Brighton equalizer. Brilliant save by the goalkeeper, but the follow-up was good. So
and people are right to blame Partey for the follow-up. Partey was jogging back, but Partey's about 14, so I forgive him. He's not 30 like him. So trust me, he's much older. He run older, but he's a brilliant footballer. He was jogging back while your Pedro was running back. But
forward. I mean, what more you could really do in that situation? The same thing happened to the defender.
Not the one who started the shot, the one who scored.
Yeah, man, I know, but what more can he do? Is the same with the first player made the shot by out-muscling the defender. I hear some other persons were saying that is the man that they should blame. Oh, if you make a man just run in by yourself. But me, I say, a power and strength the man use.
What I mean is that the player, I don't think Saliba anticipated a run. If you look, he ran off Saliba. Saliba didn't anticipate it, and Gabriel didn't come across quicker. The point is being made is that as a CDM, given where your Pedro is coming back, Partey was jogging back as if the play was over versus running back, where your Pedro was running, so he got the ricochet.
How far he was from him?
I can't show it to you, but trust me, I looked at it a couple of times. Could he have catch him? I don't know if he could, but I'm just telling you, he was jogging back. There's a difference between running back and
running and jogging. Okay.
Yeah, he was jogging back. And look, Brighton got their tie. I am concerned. Bless up Tripoli and gaming, because Man City just looked like, Haaland looked like he's in the mood. And it's going to be hard enough to try to win this game. Oh, you're looking at it. All right, good. Let's go to the next game.
Okay. Look on it. No, it's not a thing.
Yeah. You can't always mute your thing in the camera. You have it. Yeah, can't mute your Zoom and listen to it.
People here must know. You must say triple E. That means me and him have the same equipment. And him has that board XYZ.
You can't mute your Zoom.
Yeah, me and this man have the same equipment, people. Me and this one have the same equipment.
Hey, sound like Earl, what's his name? Earl Jones? Earl Moving boys. So before the game, is that coaches is saying it's a rule, but it was a soft card to give. We cannot have it both ways. Look at the video, and Rice knows what he's doing. He should have been better. But here's the thing: so did the person who kicked the ball. Know what he was doing. He's trying to kick the ball on Rice, so Rice could get a yellow card. I heard Graham Souness talking about this on Talk Sports. He's right. He's trying to, because if you don't move away quickly enough, then you can get a yellow card for not moving away. So he's trying to kick the ball on him. Rice moved it. He kicked Rice. One could say he kicked him deliberately, but anyway.
No. I hear some Arsenal people talking about why him get the yellow card and another player will kick. But them never understand, sir. Rice moved the ball out of the way.
Yeah, he did move the ball.
He moved the ball out of the way. And before the game, that's why I say my opinion is that it is soft, but according to the rule, the man I forget what him get. It's still soft to me.
Yeah.
You get what me I say? Me not change a point there. And that is my opinion. But according to the rule, I know the rule. So him have to get the card. The second card, him actually gets. So you know it will lead to a red card. Was it soft? I think so, but he knew what he was doing. It was a deliberate move by him.
Yeah, I just think he was frustrated with the foul that was called against him.
Yeah.
When the player wasn't going anywhere in the corner, you can't. I always say this: you can't commit a foul there. Right?
Yeah, but
just stay behind him.
Exactly. Him first foul the youth.
Yeah, you can't foul. You
and
can't foul
because they were on the back foot, him believes say the player will take a quick break on them because you know Brighton they move the ball quickly, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that is what, but to the detriment of the team, but luckily they were able to get away with a point.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say about that is that we were better than Man U against them. But anyway, let's go to the next point. Let's go to the next point. The next game was Brentford Southampton. Not much to talk about here, people. Brentford did their thing. Tony was in the stand. By the way, I heard today, I don't know if this is true, that Tony was making $37,000 a year at Brentford. That's what I heard. I'm not sure if it's true. I haven't looked it up. But if that's true,
a year?
No, a week. I'm sorry, a week.
Oh.
Not a year. Not a week. I apapologize.
Can't be a year. That money that you that right.
I still look at that money because $40,000 a week is $2 million a year, and after tax, it's $1 million. Now he's going to Saudi Arabia to make $400,000, coach. So here's the thing, coach. He's gonna make more in a month than he's made in a year in England. Let me repeat that. He's gonna make more in a month. It'll be 1.2 million tax free versus 2 million and after tax is 1 million in a month. Why is it debatable? He could go there for a year, make 12 times. That's a 12 years worth of money if Brentford is the benchmark. So I don't know why. Bless up, Tony. Thanks for joining. I don't know why people are gonna get consternation about him going to Saudi Arabia. I would believe. What plane am I going on?
That is a financial move, and oftentimes the fans are very selfish, you know, Kranky. The fans are about entertainment and all of these things, but they don't think about the players' well-being, and the players have to think about their well-being because no fan is going to say, "Yo, see a pound of sugar here," you know. Seeing if their money run out, the fan I go say, yo, what him do with him money? He used to play for this club. Him not saving money, him not do nothing with him money.
Yeah, and with his gambling debts, he needs as much money as possible.
Exactly.
I'll be going to Saudi Arabia in no time.
Yeah, man.
Tax-free money, you can't be beaten. Can't be beaten.
So,
12 times the money, can't be beaten.
Yeah, man. He might make some money and clear off him debts, them, and you know.
That's why I don't understand Osimhen going to on loan out to Turkey when he was going to get 600 million. You know, Sterling was offered 600,000 a week. All right, he's making 325. So after tax, he's making about 175, 650 a week after tax. That's 4 times that money. I'll go to Saudi Arabia. Anybody wants an advisor, Saudi Arabia? I'm available. Just give me money away.
It's high money.
High money.
High money.
Everton, Bournemouth. Interesting game, coach. Interesting game.
Boy, I was shocked at the final result, Kranky, to be honest.
Yeah.
Everton, they were leading 2-0 comfortably in that game.
In the 87th minute? That's what the first goal was scored by Bournemouth. And they gave up one in the 93rd, 96th. Yeah, 3-2. They come in 3-2. Yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. And they don't have a win all season. So it's as bad as it gets. It's just, some Daesh is going to be under pressure. They lose the next game, he's under much pressure. I'm not sure what they're playing next, but much pressure. I did watch the Ipswich versus Fulham game. What are your thoughts on the game? You get a chance to see it?
No, I never watched that game there.
It was a good game. Hutchinson played well. Smith Rowe played well. Iwobi played well. Both teams, it was probably more even match. Ipswich showed up, actually, and had a few chances. They showed up.
But Hutchinson was the man of the match, right?
I don't remember who was the man of the match, but he played well.
Yeah, man. I think he was the man of the match in another game there.
No, he played really well, actually. And he's looking good. It's unfortunate he decided to take the England under-21 call-up, but that's his prerogative. And it does go back to my point about, which we'll talk about later, about did the JFF push hard enough and create an environment good enough for him to make that decision? Because he came and played a couple games for us. People say he used us. I don't think he used us. I think he was vacillating or between should he play for us, should he try to get in England, and it didn't work out. If you come 2 or 3 times, he may not have been happy in the environment. And I understand. It's my understanding that the coach had no intention of playing him and that discouraged him. So it is what it is, but hopefully good luck to him and his career. Bless up Jason Guna. Thanks for joining. Next game was Leicester Aston Villa. Aston Villa came out 2-1. The prodigal son got injured in this game, unfortunately.
Fortunately.
You said fortunately or unfortunately?
Unfortunately.
I thought you said fortunately.
No, man.
But it's fortunate for Jamal Lowe. He's now in the squad. But,
hey, you see that youth name big deal, Len. You know what say yeah flip flop though. Uno start saying a Grimo on the trust, you know. And now this Grimo say ask if Grimo a coach and a kiss the teeth. Come on, man. When the coach move on, he can move on and go on about him business. We now have to talk about if a coach and a coach. Of course, the coach is a coach. Did we like his tactics? I don't think so. But don't this the man. I only did I say in Grimo on the trust. Or that does kick out you win that so.
In Ireland, trust Grimo. Come here, them a complain already.
Yeah, man.
They must say, who is Grimo? They must say, who is this man? We don't know him. I'm going to say, come and coach Jamaica. I look at a team like Jamaica. When I bring someone from Jamaica, come coach me. And we're supposed to big side.
One thing, you know, you see from Ferguson left, me not see no big coach guy, man. All the people.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Marina, big coach.
That's my opinion. Marina bug.
When they're from Alan, a coach, a big coach.
Go see think the game in left him, man.
Yeah, but he's a big coach. We can't
the game leave him Kranky.
So okay. Is Slot a big coach? We don't know, nobody don't know Slot. See me I say I don't like a big coach. It has to be a coach that has upside. Like Arteta had upside, Slot have upside. When I bring coach on an upside. No, I think what's his name? I came with good pedigree. Your coach. He came with good pedigree from Holland. I mean, he had all those players that play well in the Champions League. That's why he got the job. But it hasn't worked out well because you know what? He shouldn't be the one making the purchases. But we get to Man U. Don't worry about it. We get to Man U. Let's keep going, people. We're gonna get to Man U. We're gonna spend a good time on Man U. We will not jump the Man U thing, people. We will not do it quickly. We'll decide for the game.
You're nothing but Man U, you know.
We'll decide for the game for Man U.
And let's go to Villa. So we can come over.
So Villa won 2-1. Villa beat West Ham their first game. Last was the second game. They could have won that game, and then they beat Leicester 2-1, even though I heard Leicester got a penalty shot they didn't get. So Villa after a good start, Emery doing well, and Duran coming in for Watkins again, and look like Duran want to replace Watkins. Game scored twice now. And Nottingham Forest Wolves, which was a good game actually. I did watch part of this game, a good game, tied 1-1. So let's go to Sunday. That's Saturday. Let's go to Sunday. I'm very surprised of Crystal Palace Chelsea. I told you I have won a lot of games tonight. I had Nottingham Forest game, I had Villa game. But I had Fulham winning. I had draw between Bournemouth and Everton. I had Brentford winning, and I had Arsenal winning. I had Chelsea winning against Crystal Palace. That didn't work out. 1-1. Very good goal by Eze. I thought Arsenal should have pursued Eze. I'm surprised people come in for Gouet. They came in for the kid who went to Germany. What's his name? The kid from France. They came in for Anderson. They didn't come in for Eze, which is amazing, actually. Giving his goal scoring prowess, playing the 8 or playing the 10. I'm very, very surprised. And his ability to carry the ball. But he scored a brilliant goal after Jackson scored first for Chelsea. So Chelsea is up and down, as we're seeing. They lost their first game, won the second game, drew their third game. So we'll see what happened after the window. And they're the ones that didn't need Sterling. We're glad to have him. And by the way, I'm going to make a prediction. Sterling going to be on fire for Arsenal. Because you know what? He's in a great team.
You mean the fans are going to chew a fire on foot?
Yeah, if that's what he needs to get him going, yes. We do what we need to do. And then Newcastle versus Spurs. This is a very good game, Coach. Did you watch this game? Newcastle Spurs game.
You know what? No Sunday game.
Okay, let me get to your game. So Newcastle, Coach, I'll tell the truth, people. Coach, Newcastle versus. All of a sudden, Coach has memory loss from Sunday. He spent this time in front of the TV on Sunday watching game. All of a sudden, he got shocked in the second half, and he forgot. But Spurs was all over them. I'm surprised Spurs didn't score a bunch of goals, but they were missing both of the center forwards, Solanke and Richarlison, and it showed because they should have won this game. Newcastle were playing counter-attacking football, and Newcastle may struggle a little bit this year. You know, they have a good team, but they may struggle. And Isak is a beast, and we wanted Isak, but we We couldn't afford 120,000 pounds. Actually, 120 million for Isak. We couldn't afford that. Now, an Asselman number dropped from like 120 to like 40, 50, and still didn't materialize. So money's tight. And then we came to the featured game on Sunday.
All right, Manchester United versus Liverpool. So me tell you what go on now. Me not watch that game there for real. But the man them in the comment section I tell me say Van Gaal and something they are big coach. All right. When they came to Manchester United, they only had a big resume. Seeing? Football gone left them Monday. Different style of football I play. Them never impact Manchester United in no way. But we start play Mourinho type of football, you know, call big coach. Yo, we man have a big resume, very big. He win some leagues and he win some competition. From Porto days, Mourinho a bad coach. Seeing? And when he reach a Chelsea, him buy up some ball and have a little stretch, and then it wheel him pop off a bus. Seeing? So in that sense, I would say Mourinho have a nice resume. But when he come to Manchester United, he not good. Same thing with Van Gaal. Right now, me up on a bench, Kranky. Seeing? Me up on a bench. Me now play no ball. I bench the coach have me on. So guess what? Me now nothing to say now.
So everyone, bless Brian, bless Drew. People, I've been there under the Wenger reign. I've been there. I understand the frustration. I understand the consternation. I understand the concern. I understand I understand everything that's happening. Look, I can't get in the handkerchief, people, because
you used to don't Kranky.
I've been there. There.
No, hold on.
You've been there since 2010. You've been there.
Hold on, Kranky. Hold on. People.
I forgot what it feel like.
You see the Arsenal people, them. Man, them must say they have been there. Nothing has happened for you guys.
No. What do you mean nothing has happened?
What have you done, Kranky?
Wait. Hey, coach. This is like Kishane run against Noah Lyles. He was in the race. So we all felt that we had a chance.
No. Arsenal every year.
We're in the race. So we feel good. We're in the race.
Finals. Me not top yet. Make the finals.
Wait, we talk top yet. What you talk about?
So the race you talk about? So me not top yet. The finals.
No, you were what's his name from Calabar? What's his name again? You come last year.
So the top yet that me make. Me met the top yet boss man.
It's a 2-horse race. You got me a 3-horse race. It's a 2-horse race.
No, all right. Two people got to the finish line close. They accept that. But who win? And me met the final. People are gonna talk about the finalist. Is me I say one of the biggest race ever.
Listen. Coach, I was one of this. If you make the finals like the Olympics finals, right? But you know that the other 7 runners are just better than you. And the top 3 are just so far ahead of you, have no chance. Because I see this play, I see them, breathing hard. I'm like, why are you kicking yourself up? You ain't gonna win the race. You ain't gonna win the race.
Final, Kranky. Not the ultimate.
No, I think that's a good thing to be in the final.
What do you mean?
But you know what I said to you, look at you say, I'm gonna see you at the finish line.
But based on my performance, based on my hopeful performance, my abysmal performance, Kranky, to be in the final, it will be very good for me, a good feeling. You know? Remember, say, always want to finish top 4, you know, on a battle for top 4, you know, just outside of the medals, you know.
Fine. You know what? We like to be in Europe in the big boy leagues because everybody said they want to play Champions League. You guys played Champions League last year, but you didn't spend too much time there, did you? You went in and went out. It's like you just ran through the door. Were you in Champions League last year? When Anana was giving those goals to Turkey between his legs or under himself or whatever it was.
Oh, no.
So let me just go quickly on the game because I don't want to keep beating coach about this. I did watch the game.
No, but you can't beat me, Kranky, because me done for the past few seasons, you know, Kranky, me telling you, so me in my seatbelt, you know. I don't believe me.
Hey, people.
Me no wear them jersey there again.
I'm gonna do like
buying a new one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like Kamala said for you somebody in the chat. We're going forward. We're not looking back. I don't care
Yeah,
what I
man.
did.
Good.
We're going forward.
Go on, do
We're
the
going
thing.
forward. We're going forward. We're not looking back. So those of you behind us complaining about the one Champions League and have won this, we're pleased with our team. We have 6 center halves. Our 8 just already showed that.
Kranky, that is not true. That you're pleased with the progress, but you're not pleased with not winning. You go to it about 3-4 times close. I want to give you. I want to cuss every year.
Yes.
Don't tell me that, man.
But as it looks now, going forward.
Yeah, no.
But you guys buy what's his name? Ugarte from Uruguay. So you're gonna have a replacement for Casemiro. Poor Casemiro. First of all, that ball that Casemiro played, what the hell was Maino doing? I like how people like to blame the passer. Maino look like he's running into space by himself, he's not looking at the play. He's supposed to creating space for Casemiro to give him the ball. So Casemiro made a bad pass, but what was Maino doing? But anyway,
bad pass, brother.
He was trying to get to Maino. Maino was looking for the pass.
You remember when Steven Gerrard though?
He slipped.
Okay. Nobody no business about no slip. Everybody talk about he make a beautiful pass to the Didier Drogba.
No, it wasn't Drogba.
What people.
No, it wasn't Drogba. It was his name that went to Turkey afterward from Chelsea. It wasn't Drogba. It was his name slips me now, but he's African. But he wasn't Drogba. He went to Turkey after that.
Lone Wolf. How you talk about Waganis, Virgin? I must
G-Wagon. Exactly. Yeah, it was Demba.
In Kranky.
Huh?
Lone Wolf said me a Waganis. I want him know about Wagon. A G-Wagon.
No. Let me describe what coach is. Coach doesn't take pain well. He recoils from pain. He's not a Wagonist. He's a Man U fan, but it's been a very painful since Ferguson resigned or retired. Because Ferguson was retired from 2000. When did that do?
That dead in that show.
The man when the title with the side was good, and when the title with side not good. And after him leave is hell. But you know what? Apart from him Falk, I'm not even in a good shape.
Yeah, Ferguson and Peak still in that team is still in there. And I get something out of them, you know.
Yeah.
Peak Ferguson, you know. But Lone Wolf, no man, don't come talk about we are Wagonist, man. Because we not switch no day. We rather go up on a bench. We rather stay in our stands and them something there, but we are still united. Even though we scatter right now, and we not talk about Burrell, but yeah.
by the way, people. Enough Wagonist in the chat. Enough. We not 120 people and a 61 like appear half of them are Wagonist.
Them are Wagonist. I bet they don't like the video.
Yeah, that's Wagonist.
We not take Panadol. Panadol no real, brother.
Yeah. By the way, people, not subscribe yet. Please subscribe. The numbers are not go fast.
Yeah, man. No subscribe and like the video, man. Never.
I try to get to 2,000. Coach about 101,000. I try to get 2,000. I don't know if I'm coaches. They should just lick my butt. By the way, coach, digress. I went to a really nice event on Saturday. Beautiful place out in Long Island. And I met one of my former work colleagues. I haven't seen her since over 20 years, actually. To work with another big firm. And I was talking to her and she said, yeah, Kranky. I'm like, what you calling me Kranky? You know me as no Kranky. She said, yeah. I watch and said, I'm a trackie. I'm on coach's desk all the time. But I've never seen her comment on your program, though, coach. But so you're well-known, coach. You're well-known.
Yeah, man. A lot of people watch it and not comment. You see me?
Yeah. But no, it was good. It was good to go to an event with people I didn't think watch these channels. And
man, and you know, as I said, that a few people sent me video of persons sitting down and watching the videos from the channel or the program.
Yeah, man.
In a place where I never did that thing for real. So
man. You know what? We'll get to that later, people. Because the program, people, don't hit the like button. Okay, don't hot later, you know. Because we have nothing to say about some people. So it's all hot later. So people, hit the like button. So any other thoughts on the Liverpool game, coach?
Right now, Manchester United really in a slump. And I don't know. Hey, you say like when a car, I don't know if you know when a car stuck on a road, a dirt road, when rain fall, and all press gas, the wheels are turn and now move.
Yeah.
That is the situation Manchester United is in right now. So we need to get some dirt road type of tie up on the bus so we can move on. Right now, the team not playing well. We have the quality, but we're not playing well. So obviously, me thinks that the coach are the issue right now. I never like to ask for a coach to go. I'm still not going to ask for a coach to go. So at the as it stands, them have to go do something. Me see the part owner in the stands I watch a game and him head does.
He looked
hand.
ashamed. He looked ashamed.
Yeah, man, him look
The worst team to lose to Liverpool.
Hey, Liverpool, a team where you know to lose to, you know, and Arsenal people, them, you know, man.
Yeah, it's not that you lost in a coach, it's how you lost.
In your yard, but we have not been having a good record at our home for the past few seasons. So, history in football working and people don't believe it, you know. Things I want to put ball play upon field, watch the history in football. That work too. But anyway, it's Kranky. Manchester United, go just build back. You go to the road, replant, water, put some fertilizer and see what can go on.
I agree. Tycoon, same in Brooklyn. Enough jerk I go on. I used to go to the Parkway in a Tycoon, but I've grown up, so I stopped going up there. There's a fire, too much things up there, and cut it off early nowadays. But yeah, hope you keep you and your family having fun, Tycoon.
All right, Tycoon, big up on yourself. I something the Labor Day settings.
Yeah, man, a big thing in Brooklyn. Before the game, say, how is Johnny Evans still a viable player for United? I don't know before the game. You'll have to ask Minzy that.
What them ask?
How is Johnny Evans still a viable player for United?
That all of them something that me I talk about, man. That's why me I get angry and cross now, because them things they don't go on, man. Johnny Evans, Harry. It's a puppy show thing, man.
No, but Harry's been playing decent, man. You can't beat Harry. Harry's been playing decent.
Virgin, decent, and we don't settle for mediocrity, man. Not kind of decent. A top player we are talking about, man. Top ball, we want to see a role. We don't deal with decent, Kranky.
No?
It's like when you have the big mic.
Yeah.
Top mic you use.
I told me by the way now.
See the
I have the big mic. I have a backup one. Not as a very backup one.
You talk about money people game.
I have to have a backup mic. It's supposed this one broke down. They broke down for me now. So yeah, if you have a repeat, if you have a spear, so when it broke down, you just add the spear. The people who transition to the Greenwood discussion. Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, man. Go on, man.
So Mason had a brilliant weekend, people. Mason scored 2 goals against Toulouse. In fact, 2 goals in 2 minutes. Turned the game on its head and turned the game over, and it was all over. And so Mason has now scored 5 goals in 3 games. As you've heard in so many different circles, Mason is in the process. He's gotten his clearance supposedly already from the English FA and FIFA. The next step for him to get his papers. And then he's come to Jamaica, and we know that the stadium will full up. No, full it out. The one supposed to welcome him. A friend of mine asked me a question today, so I never bring it up.
Stadium now go full, Kranky.
No, they're full, man. They're full. The foreigner them will fly down. They're full. They're full. No, at least they're well attended. May not be full, but well attended. It depends on who you play to. If it's a good team, make it even better, coach.
Away fans, them are go full it up, yeah, man.
So somebody asked me a question today, an interesting question, which is, has the federation done its due diligence and identify whether Mason has gotten the requisite support system, including any psychological profiling and assessment to figure out where he is and to figure out if he's in the right state of mind to be doing this. And I said to them, first of all, I think the ownership and accountability for that resides with a few parties: his family, Man U, Getafe, and now Marseille, right? And I would assume that that has been worked out between all those parties. So I don't think it's the JFF's responsibility to be involved in that. Their whole focus should be, do we provide the right environment for him to come in, to settle in, do we welcome him? And yes, there may be a few people who are signing petition and are protesting, but knowing the Jamaican constituent and knowing the wagonists we are, they're going to be drowned out. I hate to say it that way, but they're going to be drowned out. So it's about the football. He's coming here to play football. He's not coming for the other stuff. And hopefully he settles in well, and hopefully he does well. Bless up, Vincy, Anthony Roberts. How you doing? So great weekend for Mason Greenwood. He has hit the ball off the cover. As I played previously, the comments made by Sir Alex Ferguson about Mason, the great man Alex Ferguson, saying he, was asked by Gary Neville about who he thinks is going to be the best forward in the world at one point a while ago. And he identified Mason's and the attributes that he has and what he exhibits and what that means. And I think that's a great thing that Mason is doing well. And I believe he will help to change the football. And he will help to he's gonna be a significant addition to the squad. If he does come, or when he comes, to me, he's gonna be the best player in the squad. And it's great that he's coming when he's playing football and playing really well. Right? 5 goals in 3 games for someone who's gone through what he's gone through. And you can see he's getting back to where he was before he went to Getafe, because he hadn't played football for over a year when he went there. He was their player of the year. And I'm encouraged by what he's doing and how he's playing. Any comments on that, Coach?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say that him just a come here come play football still. I kind of see him inhumane to some extent. Because I think preparation should be made for any psychological trauma. You don't know what is going to happen. You need a team psychologist, especially in travel. You might go a certain place where people are going to use it against whatever that situation was. Right. So I believe some sort of things should be put in place just in case. You can't take none for granted. That's one of the things we learn over the years, Don't take things for granted. So it is a good thing if they would have, make preparations for the unfortunate or the turn of events, so to speak, in the whole situation. So yeah, make preparation. If you don't need it, that is fine. But continue to be, because his situation is different. It is a situation that is never going to be out of the media.
I would agree with that, but I do think, look, I'm not sure he can go through more than he has gone through already. Whether it's what happened in Spain with him, what happened with the Crown persecution in Manchester, what happened in England. He's gone through a ton. You're right. Those things can weigh on you. But I think going forward, he's just going to play football. And when he comes to Jamaica, probably more in an environment, people are going to appreciate him more than they probably do. Because when he first went to Marseille, the mayor protested, pushed back. Some fans did. Now his jersey is the most popular jersey in the team, even though I saw where L'Equipe, the major newspaper in France, who had lauded him the week before, apologized because they were being taken to task. So he's going to live with this for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, in Jamaica, there might be pushback as well, because when I see something come out about whatever, we never want to rehash it. But of course, there are things that might come on. People talk about it,
right?
So you have to just make preparations.
So I wanted to talk about. So here's the main discussion for today. Main topic. I mean, you can run if you don't want get involved in this guy. It's all hot.
Well, before you go to that topic there, no more. I say this. So if me disappear, people don't think because I topic me gone. Remember, me did tell Kranky people say, I'm not going to be long on the show.
You did say that.
So me just want to make that loud and clear. So when me decide to leave, based on what me have to do, I may have something to take care of, then people will know, say, yeah.
All right. So people, I want to talk about a couple of things. One is, not a couple of things, the main topic, which is it's my understanding, based on some information I got over the weekend, that the JFF has, I see my thumbnail, and this is not clickbait, has canceled Reggae Boy YouTubers. And I use that term to make sure I'm clear on that. What does that mean? It's my understanding that going forward, the JFF will not be doing interviews on YouTube channels. They will only engage with the traditional media. That's my understanding.
Okay.
Is me have a thing up here. So
why?
And part of it was supposedly that YouTubers are negative and toxic, is my understanding in general. And they didn't make it, there was no qualification. So the person says that the conversation, as it's framed to me, is in the context of YouTubers basically have nothing good to say about the JFF. It's always negative. It's never positive. And we're toxic. And part of the conversation evolved into, well, we're only going to engage with traditional media going forward. Now, I'll say this, which is, because you're being critiqued, I'm not going to say some YouTubers are not toxic. I can't say that, right? Everyone's going to draw their own view and conclusions on what is toxic and what's not toxic. And I did on Sunday sent out maybe my first video that I haven't done, which is not a live video because I normally just do live, where I was having discussion during the week around we should reset the relationship with the JFF, right? That was before I got this information. We should reset the relationship, meaning it can be always that we have a confrontational relationship with the JFF, and the fans in general, not just YouTubers, and we should reset it. And I sort of laid out the case as to what are some of the negatives of the JFF, what are some of the positives, and suggestion about how we should operate going forward. That was just a discussion. What what I've learned over the weekend is the JFF decided to move along from YouTubers. They're not going to be engaging YouTubers because they find YouTubers to be toxic and negative, and I'm not good to say. Some examples that came to mind is my understanding is the visceral or the negative reaction to a youngster. I don't want to call kids names, youngster in the Reggae Boyz squad, and how negative that was, even though I did see about 3 or 4 YouTubers saying it was positive. I questioned it to say the player didn't perform well at the under 20. I haven't seen what the player have done. I know
you mean Adrian Reed?
Yeah, but I don't like to call out names because they're youngsters. They're youngsters.
How old is he?
Think about 18, 19. They're youngsters.
Big man that in young, but a big man. He's an adult.
But okay, so the kid Reed is in the team. Some people have questioned his inclusion in the team, saying he hasn't done enough. There are other players who should be brought in. The JFF didn't. I'm gonna put JFF in big quotes. Some members of JFF didn't receive that well. They think it's very, very negative. They're saying that the view is that the kid has been called by every single coach. The coach watched him at Cavaliers against the Trinidad team. The coach was very effusive in his praise of the Trinidad team, and therefore the coach called him. Now, I've had the view, which I've said, I don't think the coach picked this team. The coach doesn't know some of the players, so he's going to pick a team with some of these players. And you can't use one game to assess players because he has 3 games in the under 20 which he didn't assess. He may watch other games, local games, and my view is that Trinidad Police doesn't provide the best competition to analyze any players. So I heard the coach being very effusive with the play of the kid and how they dominated Trinidad. And I've always said this, and I said it on my channel the other day, which is, by the way, people, our benchmark is no longer the Caribbean. Our bench, in fact, if we even in the Caribbean, Cuba in the under 20 beat us 3-0. So maybe it should be 1 or 2 teams in the Caribbean, but it's Mexico, it's Canada, it's the US, it's Honduras, it's Costa Rica, it's Panama, it's Guatemala. That's our competition. It's no longer Trinidad or Grenada or St. Vincent. That's not our competition. So when we get effusive in our praise about how we do well against those teams, I'm saying, oh, by the way, take a step back. Is that who we're benchmarking against? Because then you're going to have fool's goal about where you are. Your view, coach.
But Kranky, you see, this is me analyzing what you have just said. And what I get from that, this thing seems personal. And why do I say that? Over the years, we have been giving our critical analysis of the JFF, of players, of coaches. Seen? Now is 2024. Soon 2025. Why is it now JFF, quote unquote, wanting to cancel YouTubers, which them can do? Work still ever go on, and at that time them are get the beating with them things that them are get. Seeing? My thing is that why come now to say you're not whatever because of this particular player? People have their opinion, and I'm not in support with all opinions either. But have there been anything derogatory been said about the youngster?
No, it wasn't about the youngster. Was an example, right? They give a lot of examples. One example is the youngster. I'm gonna give you that example. One example about the coach, what the coach says, which I actually have on tape here. I may not play it yet. I critique the coach for saying England players have the ambition to play for their country, young players, and he said that's what they should do.
Yeah, but Kranky, I tend to agree with the coach because I've been saying that for years.
Right.
And
so here's my thing. The coach, I'm gonna stop you there, coach. Let me stop you there for a second.
Hold on. Let me finish the point.
Okay.
I have been saying that initially, when these youth go into football, their first intention is always to play for who? England.
Right.
If we can recruit them and get them to have a change of mind, that is fine.
Right.
So I don't know if they are looking at it from the standpoint like the coach shouldn't say it because he is some sort of he's acquainted with us right now, so he should not say that. See?
So here's my point on this. There are a couple of points. One is this: if I say to you they have the ambition to play for England, I would say that's their prerogative. I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you as a coach that's what they should do. So then you're saying, because he subsequently went on to say they actually talked to Hutchinson and the other kid that reneged, the under 18 kid, and he said yes, they have the ability to play for England. Yes, he didn't say they told me that they didn't want to play for Jamaica. He never said that, you know. He sort of almost skirted the question, and I asked myself the question: did he really talk to them? You go listen to what he says. I mean, I have it here. I could even play it. It's a 3 minute long.
I wonder if him talk to anybody for real.
Listen to what he said.
The A party to that question. Could you share with us as much as you could, your talks and negotiation with either of those players? There's no problem if we fail, but what was the effort that was made? You could tell us that. And outside of that, if you could just update us on the progress with other key EPL heritage players, the likes of Tyreek Mitchell, Kyle Walker-Peters, Max Aarons, as much as you can. I know this talks as a lot of times private.
I think it's simple, and I try to keep everything simple. In one respect, you're right. It's about recruitment, looking at heritage players on one side. And it's difficult because on the list that I have, about 50 names. But many of them are 23, 24 and under. Good young players. And their ambition, as they're born in England, is to play for England. And that is right. So it's very, very difficult to recruit them type of players. So we're looking at more mature players who come to that point of, okay, I may not play for England, but there's an option. So that's what we look at. And I spoke to many of the younger players as well. And yeah, the likes of Kadamatari, the likes of Hutchison, and they're good enough to wait for England and think they're good enough. That's fantastic attitude. So on one respect, you know, recruitment of heritage players is difficult. But on the other respect, and what I've seen with the 14s, with the Cavaliers and with Mount Pleasant, is the quality of the Jamaican players is improving. And you know, so that's the key, is that we have to improve our players on the island. We have to improve the league. We have to improve the competition. We have to, and you can see the progress that's been made in terms of that. I mean, I watched the game last night, and all my staff were so impressed with the Cavaliers. So impressed. Young players playing against very, very mature men, dominating the game, and in the end, 4-1, dominating. We've seen the 14s. How can how can you win a final 7-1? You know? So this job is twofold. Yes, get the best players that we possibly can in the short term. And yes, let's improve the young talents that are there. And what the Federation is doing, Andrew Pert, Wendell, and Mr. Speed, is they're giving youngsters a chance. And that's the key to it, is giving youngsters a chance in the competition, because you never know what they can do. And look what they did last night. So, yeah, like I said, I remember, I said before, about 3 years ago, working with FIFA and the TDS, what could happen in Jamaica is happening. We're just here just to help that process and improve it even more.
Coach,
Yeah, Kranky. So,
Yeah.
what did he say different from what I said?
So when I asked the question, when he said that he said a few things which I disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go over them. One is, if I ask you the question about have you recruited these players and you waffle and then you say they have the ambition to play for England and that's what they should do. There's a difference between what they should do and you saying, you know what, I understand their ambition and I can understand why they want to do it. Because when you say that they should always go play for England.
Did he say that's what they should do, or him say that's what they believe? He said it's
no.
fantastic.
We can go back. I could go try to
Go
find
back,
it
go
again.
play that part, the Kranky.
Yeah,
because we don't want to miss it.
Keep talking, because we don't want to miss it.
Go back, go play it. Because
the
at 2 times him answer the point there now. Go on.
Well, he was waffling. No, I gotta go find it because it's in the
Me not think him answer the question directly, but
no, he waffled on the question.
yeah, me I agree with
on
that.
whether or not he recruited those players. I can't tell if he spoke to them or not. I cannot tell if he spoke to them or not. He sort of suggested that he did. He inferred he did, but I can't tell if he did or not. I'm gonna try to find the people. Let me.
I think though that, I mean,
go ahead.
He talks to these 24 and under youngsters, and based off what they're saying, their ambition is to play for England, and they believe that they can. He said that's good. That's fantastic for them to have that belief. So when I get from that, he's not gonna push and press and twist no hand behind the back. Forget nobody to come play at that age. Because if these youths say them have a future in England, him not press, him not go push. So in that sense, that is a stance where him probably have to take. Will he go outside of the age group now that he made mention of? That is the next thing.
That is not
that question. Could you tell us?
People, let me just say this. First of all,
the A party to that question. Could you tell
this thing keep freaking on? People, let me just say this. First of all, Lembakisa, Connor Boyce Clark, Anderson, they're a bunch of kids under 20 who came and played for us, for the junior team and then transferred to the senior team. And much more who wants to come. And about 14 or 16 of them who want to go for the N20 who we didn't take, who are very good players. Some are Chelsea, Tottenham, Ajax. Don't tell me that every kid that's in that 50-man squad is going to say, I want to play for England, right? Because you haven't pushed them to say, you know what? I'm gonna make a compelling vision and strategy for you to come into my team. We have kids who have made that decision already. We don't know if Lambakis have the potential to play for England or not. He could have. He came and played for us. Yeah. So when you draw a flat conclusion that, you know what, I'm not going to pursue anybody on 24. It's only those who have made the team. That's what he's inferring.
No. It infer that, but you say under 20, does it include the ones that are wanted to play down at that age group? Them not reach up to the standard.
We have about 14 or 15 who want to play under 20 coach, and we never take them. We pick the local players.
He's not the under 20 coach.
No, but I'm using it as an example to show the point.
Use him. You can't use him because he didn't set the standard for the U20.
No, coach. Here's what I'm saying.
Quota down the
he cannot.
A senior team we're talking about.
Coach, he cannot make a decision to say every single one of those kids who are young want to play for England and they wouldn't come play for Jamaica. He can't say that because he doesn't know what he's talking to them.
He's making reference to who he spoke to.
No, he waffled on the question, coach. We don't know who he spoke to.
He might make reference to who he spoke to. Him say him talk to Kadamatri, him talk to Hutchinson.
And what did he say that they say?
He said that they have ambition to play for England.
He didn't say they have ambition for England. He said what he said.
Thing again, no man. We have evidence. Play it, no man. Two occurrences.
The A party to that question. Could you tell us?
Listen.
Share with us as much as you could. Your talks and negotiation with either of those players.
By the way, people, I mean, if you play nothing, you know.
No, man, play it, man. Play it.
Wait, listen, 191 coach. We run things different. 191 people in chat, coach, and 92 likes me up. I joke.
On that term.
I'm gonna close them thing there. I'm not gonna further people. 191 people.
If come off, I call.
If you done this, because
I'm done, man.
192 people and 92 likes. I joke thing this.
They need to stop what them are doing like if them, man.
We are talk, coach, because we're not playing nothing. Because I joked in this. We're not doing anything upon the channel, myself. Someone may just join this channel. When I saw we did on this. The regulars have hit. I was told, by the way, before we go further, I make a comment. I was informed. I was informed. You know what? We're not going to mention that either. We mention it afterwards. When we see the likes them go up, we mention it. We're not mentioning people. We know someone will drop off because we don't like hit the like button, so please drop off. As a mistake, no. We know it work. If you don't want to hit the like button, you can drop off. We can afford for you to drop off. But don't stay on my channel and don't want to hit the like button because it's free. We spend time doing research. We spend time getting information. If people ask me about copyright, by the way, people, I don't think you can copyright press conference, and I do my checks. Ask Minzy. I asked Minzy, hey Minzy, how long me ask you now about using your content?
Yeah, man, a long time we know a certain thing.
And get it in writing, right?
Yeah, man.
Me call the JD and say, JD, can I use the content? Him say, yes, give me in writing. I said with those people, we don't use people things without asking people. If them say no, we not use it. So if you see me, I use a content and it's Jamaica related, me have made that clear because sometimes may use something on Jamaica related. Me ask the owner for the content if me can use it. Right? Me ask the owner for the content, or me ask the party who owns the content if I can use it. Otherwise, me not use it. I did do my check on the JFF press conferences. I was getting information. I hope it was accurate by parties who needs to know what I can use it or not. So I understand the concern that you guys are expressing, given some recent incidents, but I don't want to use other people's material, which I didn't generate, and not give credit for the material and or not get their authority to use the material. People, 129 likes of 198 is still not good enough, people. That's not good enough, people. I'm sorry for saying that, but it's not good enough. And okay, I come get free content and I want to give out free likes. It not cost you nothing. It's very upsetting to me, actually. And I know some miserable already. That's why I'm cranky. Hit the like button, people. I'll stop at the thing, but hit the like button. Okay, if me go into the middle for the next 10 minutes, I know hit the like button, I close on the program. All right, coach, we'll play it again.
But you're saying
the A party to that question. Could you tell us?
Huh?
Share with.
Say again?
Oh, Badger say him thing say you ban me from the show.
Me ban you.
Yo, can't you play a thing, yeah, man? Take out the comment there for
you know, me your friend. You know, we not banter friend, we not beat up friend, we not critique friend. If we have some tell friend, we tell them to them face. And remember that. We don't tell them that enough time. We tell them that. Nah, listen, we're not talk about friend in the public or behind them back. We tell friend what we feel in front of them. Yeah.
The A party to that question. Could you tell us, share with us as much as you could, your talks and negotiation with either of those players? There's no problem if we fail, but what was the effort that was made? You could tell us that. And outside of that, if you could just update us on the progress with other key EPL heritage players, the likes of Tyreek Mitchell, Kyle Walker-Peters, Max Aarons, as much as you can. I know this talks as a lot of times private.
I think it's simple, and I try to keep everything simple. In one respect, you're right. It's about recruitment, looking at heritage players on one side. And it's difficult because on the list that I have, about 50 names, but many of them are 23, 24 and under. Good young players. And their ambition, as they're born in England, is to play for England. And that is right. So it's very, very difficult to recruit them type of players.
No.
So we're looking at more mature players who come to that point of...
Wait, keep going. We're not done.
We're going to reach a point. No, so we play it already, man. We don't want
there's something else.
And I spoke to many of the younger players as well.
Wait.
And yeah, the likes of Kadamatari, the likes of Hutchison, and they're good enough to wait for England and think they're good enough. That's fantastic attitude. So on one respect, you know, recruitment of heritage players.
He never said they told him that he want to play for England. He said they're good enough to play for England. They can do so, and that's great. He never said they told me they want to play for England.
No, Kranky, that is what him get because of the conversation you have with them. That's why you do it piece of
No. He would have said, I talked to those people. I spoke to those players and they told me that yes, they want to wait for England. He never said that.
But based on how him talk, you know, I'll get him to say it directly like that. That's why I wanted you to stop it so you get the first part, then him go to that.
No, if I stop it, I can't. If it don't start over, that's why I'm not stopping. We record it. We stop it.
Oh, so you can't pause it.
It don't start over.
Start right back where it did. That you should have told me then, man. But that is your interpretation, Kranky. When me I get him talk to them youth there, and they have this the requisite for play for England, and they feel as if they can play for England. And that's what me get from what him
He said,
the
the ambition is to play for England, and that is right. Who
right.
determines right or wrong?
And he said they are good enough to make it and play for them. And they think as well that they are good enough. So obviously, we have conversation. That's what me get from it. The conversation is that, I think me can play for England,
And that's fine.
Have the ability.
And
so
that's
that
fine.
me I said the youths them were in a them age group, there's some of them, and I'm not saying it's all of them, they have their first intention is to play for England.
No, and look, we're not arguing that, coach, right? I've always said this. We shouldn't beat players who were born in a country who want to play for that country. If we have Jamaican players who are good enough, look for a track team. If we have track, which we have had, by the way, who are very good on the cusp, right? But they don't want to wait. We'd say, why are you going to run for some other country because you have that heritage? Why aren't you staying and you may make the team here? We'd have some of those consternation. I don't think he's comfortable, in my view, recruiting some of those players who are very, very young and have that potential because he's English. That's just my view. I could be wrong, but it's my view. And I didn't hear him say, I spoke to those players.
No,
they told me they want to play for England. He never said that.
But based on the conversation, that is what I got.
You can infer that, but my view is, why wouldn't you say that? I spoke to them.
But based on how I talk, Chappy Kranky, sound
because
like
he's being cute.
There.
He's being cute with language. Coach.
No, but that's why he sound to me like I saw him talk Chappy.
No.
What kind of cute with the language?
Him talk a lot about local players and how great they are. All right, let me take the call.
Yeah, that's something where, boy, I don't know. He must say them great, and then he must say them develop. The league need to develop.
I'm talking about to them more. Yeah, go ahead. Who am I talking to?
Person, big up coach.
Well, go on. 50.
Is it 50? Is it 43?
Kranky, listen.
Yes.
Say.
Yeah, 5 minutes, by the way. We're going to take 5 minute call. Come in, you're like, young pastor and CC like talk long, but go on.
I'm going to beat the coach, beat him to track record, right?
Right.
And I stand by that. However, I think it's not genuine for you to say that you think he's afraid to recruit those players because he's English. Because then I think you're going down a line of questioning maybe the integrity or the character of somebody that you don't know personally. In the sense that a man is hired to do a job, right? And he's going to try to do this job to the best of his ability. I don't think Steve McLaren, because of being English, would look at the recruitment process and say, okay, I'm not going to go in 100% to try to recruit some of these players that can potentially play for Jamaica. I think that's not genuine, Kranky. That's like me hiring anybody for a job and have a preconceived notion that this man is not going to do the job well because of some bias or whatever the case is. These are coaches that they're paid the top dollar to get results. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but we all have differing opinions. And my view is that he probably get beaten in England if he pick all their best players to come play for Jamaica. Because he's English and he coaches England.
That's where I run from.
Yeah, but Kranky, in terms of England best players, right?
Huh?
How much of these players at the ages of 23 and 24 can turn Jamaica overnight into challengers for like a World Cup or whatever the case is? If anything, we just become stronger in CONCACAF or we dance yard before we dance abroad. A lot of these players, barring the Mason Greenwood and the Morgan Gibbs right, who I don't think he had his eyes set on playing for Jamaica, right? A lot of the other potential players, even if they do come to Jamaica, we're still not going to be at the level that England is at. You know what I'm saying?
No, I actually don't know what you're saying.
You don't know what I'm saying?
No, I don't understand what you're saying. Wait, listen. 43, listen. Omari Hutchinson is about 20, 21 years old. Morgan Gibbs White is about 23. Mason Greenwood is like 22. They're young players with brilliant futures. If you get all those players in a team, what you have, it's not about competing with England. It's about you being very, very good in football, good in CONCACAF, and good on the world stage. So that's why I don't understand what you're saying. You guys think we're just making stuff up. I'm telling you what I hear from the coach.
Listen, I did not say that. What I'm saying is, barring the Mason Greenwood, who he looks like he was always set on playing for Jamaica, right?
Right.
To me, I don't think there was anything genuine in the Morgan Gibbs White thing because, even when he was not included in the Euros for the England squad, in the squad for the Euros, he was disappointed. He posted something on his Instagram, right? So he has always had England in the back of his mind. But I'm just saying, it's not like the recruitment process right now is recruiting players of the caliber like a Harry Kane or a Jude Bellingham or whatever the case is. I don't think England is even looking at Jamaica as a threat if these players come and play for Jamaica.
I disagree with you.
Oh, Presser,
No.
But
First of all, Presser. I think England is looking at every
Get that.
country where players have dual citizenship or possibility as a threat. That's why Keith
Yeah.
Parsley is calling all of them. He called Gomez. Everybody ever heard about Gomez for years? We left Man U. Been in Spain in League One for 3 years. And all of a sudden he's in the team. He's the players come through the under 18 and 21, which he's responsible for. He knows their potential. He's calling all of them. All of them. You know what he did this period? He said, some people asked about some players that no, they're gonna come back. I'm gonna cap these players in games that's official.
Yeah.
They can't play for anybody else. If you guys think that's not the case, you're fooling yourself.
Yeah, Presser, that has to be it, Presser. And I remember say these people, we are talking about a player. That's why them leaders say, yo, better we stop talking about the players them, because when we highlight them know say we have interest in the players. And then a man just cap a player that South Fence used to do. You see me I say?
Yes. In fact, he had a meeting with someone. Didn't he have a meeting with like Greenwood? Holgate and the kids from like 4 or 5 of them to have that dialogue with them. He couldn't promise them anything, but that they are on the threshold.
Look from when we are trying to get Holgate. Look from when we are trying to get the youth there. When name the midfielder there. A long time them man they have aspiration to play Hayden. A long time them man they have aspiration to play. That's why me stop the videos on these aspiring players. Because I realized when they go out there, South Fence, I say, oh, them dip on the radar. I think so they don't watch them show your Presser. You make a sad mistake if you feel say they don't watch the show them. Them are watch and I see and I understand say we are recruiting players them.
But what I will say, Coach, I wouldn't walk down the line. I mean, I respect Kranky's opinion, but I wouldn't walk down the line of trying to question Steve in that sense, because a man gets tired to do a job, and I want to believe he's going to do the job.
No, but here's my point, which people don't seem to realize. Here's my point, actually. It's not about questioning someone's integrity. It may be that he's doing a prioritization. I'm not going to spend my time on these players because I think they all want to play for England. I want to focus on those who may over a certain age,
that's why maybe
who may not reach there.
Them because them want
but my view is this. The JFF has not had a recruiting strategy and a compelling vision to provide to these players. I don't care what the JFF want to say. They're going to complain about YouTube abusing them or bring things up which they can't refute, then they get upset. They have not had a compelling recruiting strategy. They go to one or two agents in England. People like Devon, I do behind the scenes, and Devon Port and all of them behind the scenes. I call 10 number of people. I see some of these communication people. So we're not talking at the top of our head sometimes. They're the ones behind the scene trying to do some things. They get no credit. Because when somebody come in, the JFF get the credit, which sometimes they don't deserve because they were involved in the recruiting process. And then they get upset when we call these things out because they say that's all we do is negative. But if you don't have a vision, a compelling strategy, and when the players come, they don't feel totally comfortable, it becomes an issue. So when they go back and the player, they may ask them, you've been to Jamaica, how is it? What are they going to tell them? Lie? So when they come, they can say, you know what, you lied to me? They can't tell them, when Hutchinson came and played on those bad fields down in Montego Bay and other, they probably walk away saying, you know what, we can't deal with this.
If he said that's why I don't come back for
can't deal with this. We go play a Montego Bay in a hole, drop in a hole. We can't deal with this.
I remember, I know.
Yeah.
But Kranky, what on there? You see, if you understand that, remember when Dexter come in our team, Dexter explicitly declared that Bobby Reid gave him some information.
Right.
Bobby Reid tell him what going. Bobby Reid say, yo, this is not better rose, But it's not a bad place to be.
Right, but some people, coach, and 433, like to be treated like royalty. That's what they used to from there in the academy.
Exactly.
And they don't want any other kind of treatment, and they now put up with it and say, why do I have to fly 9 hours, got treated like, you know what?
In
an empty stadium, second-class hotel, fly business economy. Why would I want to do that?
And my last point to leave off, this is why, I wasn't ever advocate for the quota thing, right? But I am more now an advocate in terms of getting rid of the quota, in the sense that it definitely becomes harder to recruit players at the ages of 23, 24, when, they're already playing some of their best footballs at the club level. And when you look at these players at the ages of like say 14, 15, or, those tender ages, once you get them into the youth teams in Jamaica, right, barring no quota, once they make a natural progression at the club level, becoming better players, they also make a natural progression from the youth teams for Jamaica to the senior team. You know what I'm saying?
That was the point I've been making for the longest. Okay,
this has to be it's not going to be a 5-year thing, but it has to be like a long-term goal of ours to change things at the youth level so that once a player makes the natural progression at the club level, because they will become better, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it's just the same process for the youth teams in Jamaica. Instead of going to a player at the age of 22, 23, 24, where it becomes harder, where he's thinking, okay, I want to play for England. I'm already at Nottingham Forest. I'm at Arsenal, whatever the case is. Let me try and break into the England first team or break into the England team or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, look, I think that you can build that loyalty. You can build that commitment when they're earlier. You influence them. They come. They enjoy the island. They enjoy the people. They enjoy the crowd. They enjoy the environment. If you create an environment for them when they're young and make an impression on them, you go back to England sometime where they have to deal with things like racism they don't want to deal with. And in their household, you're playing reggae music, the people talking to them. You can convince the agent that playing for Jamaica is a good thing and help their brand. When they play for England, it's probably in their contract. They get a bonus for making the England team, right? I'm not sure they can get that with Jamaica. So it's a whole different in terms of the financial aspect of this. But you can convince some of them to come. You can't convince all 50, but you maybe can. But all 50 can't play with the team at once, right? All 50 going to the England team, given who was out there already. You may convince 5 of them. You don't need more than 10 at any point in time.
That's what Kranky.
Yeah, man, Fortune. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Who is that person, Kevin Dollar Sign? What you mean?
Where you see that? Oh.
Anyways, Kranky, I'm wondering too, if the situation where Leon Bailey did that international interview possibly contributed to some of these players having a change of heart,
That everything adds up, coach.
And if we say it, people are gonna think say, yo, we not like Bailey. But you have to look into these things. Because the players, them are gonna say a top player like Leon Bailey is complaining based off these things that are happening with the federation. Why am I going to leave England? Why am I going to come here to be a part of the system? And this is where I believe, and I agree with McLaren. We need to put things in place to develop our own on the island.
No, we totally agree with that, coach.
But
you think, coach, he's effusive in his praise of the players on the island currently.
And I agree, but at the same time,
wait, Mr. This coach. If I have bricks,
Jamaica
people,
now, Kranky. All if you don't believe it, you gonna say it, Rip Jamaica now,
Yeah, but here's the thing, coach. I may have bricks to build a house and the columns to build a house. It's not a house until I build it. They're raw materials. I may have the physical attributes to be a good footballer. I'm not a good footballer. Stop saying that. It's not right if you keep saying that as if you involved in this FIFA initiative. I've seen one of the documents written to the FIFA initiative. We have so much. I haven't seen the Jamaica one. There's so much to be worked on. I'm sure Jamaica is no different. When you come tell people how great we are, and the same Cavaliers team plays Cincinnati, and it was boys against men, just like how Cavaliers was against police. It was worse than that. Cincinnati against Cavaliers. What is our benchmark, people? I think we keep confusing the benchmark. Is police the benchmark, or is Cincinnati the benchmark? Is Atlanta the benchmark? What's the benchmark? Because when you say these are great talent, and you see the talent, and you're just going to develop the talent, what does that mean?
Kranky, he's not wrong. There's great talent here. I've been saying this for years. I'm gonna get beaten by people in the comment section.
How do you define talent,
there's
coach?
a reservoir of talent here. The issue we're having is our coaches need to be developed. And the coaches need to be developed,
But coach, so there are players who have come through systems who are being very good players, even without good coaching around, right? We keep saying there's talent. How do we define talent?
But Kranky, when you say them good without the good coaches, when them go to Europe, when them go wherever, they come back home because they are lacking a lot of the attributes that they need to have to become a top tier footballer. They're lacking in some aspect. When I have to learn how to do this off the ball movement, when all of the youth them in our club know how to do it, I am 6 steps behind.
So, coach, that's why I'm confused by the concept of talent, because all that is incorporated into the concept of talent. And by the way, this Kevin person, here's my view, Kevin. I don't take this personal. You don't have to be here. You could be any place else. So if all these YouTubers are stupid, they have no sense, they can't reason, they're not deductive, they're not smart, they're not intelligent, you're not helping yourself by being here. Listen to these idiots. We're all idiots. So why are you here, Kevin? I'm very surprised, Kevin, you're here. Kevin, I would suggest you find some place you feel comfortable with smart people. Go to the JFF site. This is what JFF says. This is their people because the YouTubers are idiots and you're smart. All right, Kevin. Thank you. So, Coach, sorry.
Our football is way behind, Kranky. And if you go in a team, Kranky, as a coach, head coach, of course you have to talk about the talent that is in the program. If it's even for the media process.
All right, Coach. Here's the thing, Coach. So
that is going to be done.
He said
even
that from the no, Coach.
No,
Coach. Here's the thing. I have a problem with him. You know why, people? Because don't say new people like beat. He said in the assessment process he was doing on the FIFA initiative, he saw all the talent that was there. How the hell would he know? He was in England doing this remotely. He saw no talent that he could assess to make that informed decision. He'd been saying this from day one, that he's engaging with the DFF. He knew all the talent that was there. This was a remote thing done during COVID. So how would you know? How would you know, Coach? If you're doing things remotely, you don't be on the island. You didn't go watch Cavaliers play police. I'm trying to take this call. Good evening. Good evening.
Kranky.
Yes, good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, Gary, Chicago.
Yeah, I know, Gary, Chicago. Bless up.
Yeah. One thing I have to say about that coach.
Yes.
You right. That no, you live America a long time. Me live a long time. Englishman, America, man, and nah, give it a country. You could have do anything in the world, and you know look the best player in Jamaica. That exactly in the hammer upon the nail head. Remember me tell you that. You lit the hammer right on the nail head, Kranky. You see my boss pan Jamaica talented. And this time I go look at the riffraff left, him go want to care about Jamaica. If Jamaica them don't have good recruitment, we in a problem with this coach. And it will shame himself if I that way him go. Remember me tell you that.
All right,
I don't have nothing more to say. I don't have nothing.
I get it. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the call.
I don't have nothing more to say. Thank you. God bless you.
So people, here's this. So somebody say that, oh, of course, he had videos and digital. Hey, people, let me tell you something. When you assess footballers, you just assess footballers against equivalent talent. Let me say that again. If you're going to assess Cavaliers against police, your assessment is poor. Because the same Cavaliers team and even a better team plays against Cincinnati, and they were lost. Cincinnati had over 500 pass. Myself and other friends were going through some of this. They had about 100. They beat them so easily. It wasn't a contest. They were never in the game. Cincinnati is not the best team in the world. They're a good team. They're in the MLS people. And Cavaliers had no chance in hell to beat them. I was told that, oh, well, they had better data analysis and better this. No. They were better on the football field by 100 miles. So if you're going to stay in England and look at some tapes and come to Jamaica and watch Cavaliers against police and say, well, you know what? We destroy these teams. I bet the under-20 team that lost to the US or lost by 15-0 to 3 teams, Costa Rica, Cuba, and also to the US, I bet they would look good against the Caribbean teams. They would look against Trinidad. They would look good against French Guiana. That's our benchmark now. People, I'm trying to say we are not competing against those teams anymore. We are 5th in CONCACAF. Our competition is the Canada, US, Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, to a lesser extent, Honduras and Guatemala. That's our competition. It's not Trinidad anymore. So when you guys are beating us about our perspective, it doesn't make sense to me.
But Kranky,
yeah.
In true assessment, do we assess the coach before in kick a ball of the team?
Yes. We assess the coach whereby we're saying, what's your resume, coach? If we hire some no-name coach, we would all lose our mind. McLaren's resume of coaching England, of carrying 22 championship in Holland, of coaching Middlesbrough, of coaching Derby, of coaching Newcastle, of coaching Woodburg, that's how we assess him. He's been at Man U twice, during Ferguson reign and subsequent to Ferguson reign during Ten Hag. Ten Hag brought him there, so we know he must have some skill set for Ten Hag to want him there. That's what we assess, as we would lose our mind.
No, but in terms of coming to Jamaica, because we know that his resume, we assess him on his resume, yes, to see what type of coach he is and what he would have done in the past. However, Kranky. Yeah. However, with no football player yet,
yeah,
can we? Well, I'm not gonna tell you no what to do still, because I hear sure, but I'm it's your show. And it's
No,
not
it's,
a
it's, a, it's a
partnership.
fair question. Here's the problem, coach.
Because I believe
Don't
though
try to
that
curry favor. I Jamaica think this. Not try curry favor.
no, me
Just
not try curry
No,
favor,
talk about
Kranky.
you, me talk about the coach. Me talk about the
Oh.
coach. Don't
Oh.
try curry favor with the organization. You say, you know what? I'm still assessing what's going on. I didn't hear Hogrimson rave about the local talent. I didn't hear John Wall rave about the local talent. John Wall was trying to get overseas players from how many different countries into the team because he's saying the talent wasn't on the island. So how come you come with the same young players and say they're so great when John Wall was saying, you know what? They can't help me in CONCACAF as what I want to help. What am I missing, coach?
Yeah, and he was removed for that. So it's like as we always say, you know, if we talk with mind and we see it as is and we are exposed upon it, people think say, yo,
We're
them are gonna
critical.
cancel YouTube and whatever. I don't give a care.
Let me say this, people.
I don't give a care
Some
who want
people-
cancel me.
Here's
Them
the
a
case for
cancel YouTube, but they can't cancel me.
Here's the case for hypocrisy with the Jamaica Football Federation. And JFF, I know you watch the program, so here it is, JFF. You say you're going to deal with traditional media, but traditional media have criticized you. Here is what the
But
Gleaner
look
had
on the
said.
last article.
Wait, may I read it now. It says, Ricketts, in his 6th year at the helm of the JFF, demonstrated neither management skill or imagination to compensate for the short-termism and project-by-project approach of the previous regimes. That's the media criticizing you. That's the Gleaner. The Federation remains, it appears, racked by inefficiency and a clunky approach to management, right? And they're basically saying they should have an overseer or they should kick them out. That's your traditional media.
Yeah, traditional
The
media do
last
that.
time I watched TVJ and heard Maverick speak, he's traditional media TVJ.
Mm-hmm.
He said the JFF is acting like vultures in pursuing Greenwood. Let me say that again. I
Mhm.
have it played. They're acting like vultures and they're running around like their head cut off. You know what happened? The US pursued Balogun for 2 years. Were they vultures, Maverick? Maverick is traditional media. He have his own radio program. He have TVJ. Why not ban them to JFF? Doping over frightened.
No, because YouTube, them things that we
doping
just
over
take mic
frightened. Them
and
tell
camera
me,
and put
say,
in
you know
front.
what? We only have the same 500 people watch all these channels. That's their view. The view is that the same 500 people watch all these channels, so no matter. Doping over frightened. We're gonna be here and we're gonna be here.
It can't stop.
Not only is that bad,
It can't
we're
stop.
here kind of continuum. We're not like traditional media who just run away after 2 seconds because they have to do the commercial break. We ain't doing no break. We're gonna do 2, 3, 4 hours. We're gonna talk the truth. You don't like the truth? It's too bad.
Well, I'm Kranky. And you see, I believe you remember when Dennis Chung come in at the position and he said that they like the fact that we are keeping them accountable, pointing out these things and saying all of these things so that, you know, they can keep in check. What has happened now? Have they arrived? The plane land? World Cup themselves?
Well, when you have some more money in the coach, you know, we get money in our pocket, you know. We turn fool, as I'm saying.
And get bossy.
Yeah, get bossy.
Show off.
Get arrogant. You're arrogant already, you get more arrogant. I saw it run, Minzy.
Yeah,
we have money in our pocket now. Money I roll from Adidas, money run from Copa, money run from Gold Cup. We're in a good place now. We don't need it now. And I was informed also that, you know what? I'm not gonna game anyway, so what difference it make?
But Kranky, if for me, if no JFF persons come on the show, it's not a year or year for me, you know. Me don't know about you.
But you know what? We're surviving without JFF person, and we're gonna keep on surviving. I know what people many things about cancel my channel. Me encourage now to keep running this thing here. You know what me encourage? If I even one person that watch me I'll talk 24.
Chevron, me always in Chevron. Hold on, the Chevron, me always in a football world, man. I might not be doing live, but I'm dropping videos. Don't tell me about welcome back to no football world. Me no want nobody hey, listen, me I get mean and bad in a Kranky. You see people that talk about me, I would do this and that. Me no want you know foolish this man. Me I do football. See me drop a video about Bailey there today. You know watch it. So you say welcome back. And me I do video. Me talk about McLaren today. And me talk about Bailey. And me talk about Jamal Lowe. Now because me not do no live, what can I welcome back? After me not gone away.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you're saying I'm not going to engage social media because it basically, toxic. Basically, that's what we're getting, right? Which means all of it.
How they define toxic? toxicity.
Well. Let's use the word.
Explain that.
We're negative. We're negative, right? Well, if you're negative, you can be toxic, you know, because you're negative and you talk about always. Supposedly, we're always negative with JFF. It was a funny thing about Coach. I dropped the video on Sunday. In that video I dropped on Sunday, I outlined some of the negatives and I outlined the positive, and I said about the JFF, which is, don't tell me that they're not responsible for going to the World Cup or Gold Cup or Copa, because you know it's on their regime. You're going to criticize, you have to give them credit. All they hear is the criticism. They don't hear anything positive. Part of the view is this: you people in diaspora think you don't know everything. All they want are foreign players in that team. We don't want no local players. We don't business Jamaica are good. We don't want no local players in the team. We don't want to pay foreigners. We don't think you know everything. I don't know everything. So you know what? We're not dealing with it on the go away, basically. And my view is this: those in the, and but you know, on the CM1 JFF said no want to engage the diaspora, but on the one only get engaged diaspora for the money. We don't want to do diaspora.
So they want to use
diaspora. They have no use for the diaspora except for the money. Want nothing to do with diaspora.
But social media will never go away, Kranky. So I mean, the amount of highlight.
No, it's not social media. It's the new media.
Cranky. Is it new media, social media is same thing. The other one, them traditional.
Meaning the traditional media is dying out. Traditional media is dying out because people no longer take information from just one source. They're gonna get information from different sources and make an informed decision. They're gonna make sure the source is credible, but they don't want it just hear it from the traditional media who dominate the airspace, who have the resources to manipulate the airspace. That's not the case anymore.
I mean, we have given the JFF relevancy, whether it is in a good way or a toxic way, what them believe. No, but if JFF were doing their job accordingly, then we wouldn't be speaking about certain stuff. When last have we spoken about press conference and how it is?
No, I did actually in this context. Two things in the press conference.
Oh, the president on him phone.
The president on the phone with paper. How professional is that? I wonder if we call it out. Not only that, the previous press conference. Now, this is not the JFF. It's not their fault. But there was a traditional media person in the press conference, half naked, with a committee on his chest and ask question. Now, that was the JFF fault because they didn't know he was there. But I was watching and saying, what the hell is this? So that's the traditional media want to deal with. They're the paramount. They're the example. They're the barometer. No, they're not. We all have our faults, whether it's social media.
Of course, everybody
we're not perfect. And for you to want to cut off social media because you know like how intrusive we are, like we call you and say you have quota, like call you when you do things wrong. That's your prerogative. But you know what? We're gonna be here and we're gonna keep on talking.
Yeah, man, we still have to talk, man. What if we stop talking about JFF? That them want,
No, we're going to hold them accountable.
Turn off, but that not going to happen.
We're going to hold them accountable.
It's not going to happen.
Coach, you know that thing, Coach. So you come out under 14 people. I've never seen this actually in any federation. Your under 14 did well in the Caribbean. Fine, give them flowers. But they're not even done play yet. You run out to go praise them and exaltation and beat your chest. And when the under 20 get slaughtered, you're silent like lamb. You take no accountability for that. And then you complain when we criticize you. And you say you have to do some post-mortem assessment. Why not the post-mortem for the victory? And so when you come talk about the post-mortem, you never do that. You run out, come talk before you have no post-mortem. But when you lose, there's a post-mortem, so we can't talk to you. You go hide, and then you complain and say we are toxic. The toxicity
me still want
goes both ways.
I would love to hear the definition of that word, because people have definition that differs, You get what me say? We calling up. Listen. Kranky, and you see the hypocrisy in that again. We are Jamaicans. We can speak the Queen English, but we chat patoto. Is it how we speak? You don't like the dialect? You don't like the job? Well, we can't go in the language of the English. We can't speak properly. If I don't like, that's why I'm want to know what is the toxicity. What them I talk about?
Well, we know what toxic mean, but we want to know.
Me don't know what it mean, Kranky. Me don't know. Me have no idea.
Them say we are poison, so we don't know. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Kranky. I'm Brent.
I'm Brent. How you doing? Thanks for calling.
Good evening, Coach.
Right, me there now. Big up.
Yeah, man. So I sit back and listen, and when we look at the JFF complaining about YouTubers, I remember I'm being a Reggae Boy fan for years and going back way back. And I remember within this space, being outside of Jamaica, there was not a lot of content for you to follow on a regular basis. So kudos to the YouTubers on all their platform bringing information on a daily basis. But the more YouTubers come forward, this is the problem I think the JFF have. The JFF have a bunch of big men who come on from, because as a little youth, from my father age, them just want to tell you what to do and you just keep yourself quiet. Right now, we are questioning the things that they're doing and we're seeing the things that they're doing. There's a lot of things the JFF are doing and there's a lot of things they can do better. Yes, you come out, the under 14 kids them did well. You know, even have a little parade for them and make them feel good. You come out on YouTube by yourself and talk about the things that you guys did. How are you going to engrace the Jamaican kids to want to play football if them come and see them own schoolmate them and get praise? They must say, you know what, that look good. But I want to do that too because I want to get praise. There's a lot of things that they could have focused on and work on. And complaining about YouTubers is because you're being questioned. And in relation to the coach as well, it's not what you're done. We're not judging you on your works as yet. But it's the things that you're saying. Don't pretend that the space of Jamaicans are not educated. And we can watch what you say. And the things that you're saying don't correlate. So that is what we're questioning. You're an Englishman. You sing God Bless the King. How is going to be questionable for you to be loyal to another place? And you have to first disperse that. Let us feel as if your main focus is getting Jamaica better. And what this means, if you talk to the players them and they want to come, encourage them. Yes, you have a conflict of interest, in my opinion. That doesn't mean say it's what you're doing. I think you have a conflict of interest because you're an Englishman. Most of the players that can play for Jamaica can play for England. So therefore, which one are you going to be loyal to? And we're not saying nothing wrong with older players, but we want some of the young ones. If you pick off 2 or 3, that should be perfect. We can't get everybody. Not everyone can play. That is just my opinion listening to it. JFF does not want to be questioned. They want to tell people. To me, other than speed, I don't really want to hear from the other top man. Because to me personally, from listening to business people speak, them have no clue. Them cannot coherently tell me a strategy where they hope to be in 5 years. What is their plans to get there in 5 years? There's so much they need to do. That's just my 2 cents.
All right, Carl. I appreciate the call. A lot of sense. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Kranky, before you go to that comment there, because I know you're burning for take on a comment there.
No, go ahead.
Is it since they're trying to move away from the new media, social media, are they going to take away our constitutional right and not give us any more accreditation?
It's a good question. We'll see how that works. But they already took away constitutional right for naturalized citizens who are under 20.
Are we still going to get accreditation to these games?
We'll see how it goes.
Stop it, you know?
Nah, stop nothing.
Still not gonna stop it in a JFF. Nothing. So me don't know. We still, YouTube is here to stay. All when me stop the YouTube, Kranky stop the YouTube. So next man I go rise up and take on the thing.
More come.
Man,
Can't stop them. Coming like ants. Every day one turn up.
Yeah, man.
So Kevin, this is your second very positive comment, Karen. We appreciate it. By the way, it's facts are facts because there's an agreement failure. Facts is plural.
Well, I know.
So you can't say facts is facts. That's not the way to speak.
Thank you, well,
yeah.
Siobhan said, me tell us you have to do something with how we talk, you know.
We don't speak English?
Yeah, Siobhan said, make sure we speak properly when we are engaged and I bash these people. But why we always say a bash? If we are call out something, it's not always a bashing, brethren.
Well, here's the thing, Coach.
We just learn one word and just write on a word, man. No,
yeah,
man.
So people, go watch a video I dropped yesterday where I talked about the plus and the minuses and provide a perspective as to what we should think about going forward, right? And the view is that we're always negative. So Kevin, as I said before, Kevin, you could be any place else, and you should be any place else except here because you've been dropping these things and you're saying we're always negative and we don't always complain. We actually support the team. Minty and I were in Dallas actually attending game and having a good time. And
not only that, we're not going to talk what we do, Kranky.
No, I'm just saying. You say we're not engaged. How much game do you go, Kevin? How much game do you go, Kevin?
We do things.
Yeah.
So we're not explain because we don't want nothing to go back.
Yeah. We're not going to just talk. We try to help.
Yeah,
and
man.
the players appreciate us in that because we bring things to light. The players appreciate.
Yeah, man.
You may not appreciate us, Kevin. The JFF may not appreciate, but players appreciate us. It's not always negative, actually. We bring things out. We bring the players alive. We always promote the players. See what I just talked about Greenwood a while ago? That's positive for the team and for the football and for the player, right? We're recognizing their achievement and we're lauding them and giving them the flowers they deserve in a public domain. So if you don't like it and you say we always negative, that's your perspective, your entirely opinion.
So Kranky, where you get that information from?
Who am I? Kevin? You're into your feelings now, Kevin. Bye.
Go
ahead, coach. Go ahead.
Stop paying that person that man.
Yeah. Go ahead. What you say?
Is it that somebody contact you and tell you that?
No, I can't tell you.
No, I'm not.
But I'm just telling you, yes, people.
You know,
nothing I bring here. No, we don't do that.
Okay.
Nothing I bring here is not factual. If it's an opinion, I tell it's an opinion. If I'm telling you things that are happening, which I know these things, this is not some guess game or no. And I can check me fax them at any point in time. I'm always 100% correct because I may read something and misinterpret it, but we bring you facts. And when I bring you it's facts. I've been informed that I'm done with the YouTubers them. And I'm only deal with traditional media. And traditional media is what I deal with. Even though traditional media beat them the same way, then say YouTube I beat them. And I beat them probably to more people. And
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said earlier, and Siobhan I said, it's probably the language and the tone. You get what I say? But
coach, you're comment. Coach, you see this coach?
Yeah, me see it on.
Hey, people, here's what I also find interesting, people. So me take on the audience now. People, because someone have a relationship with someone or may seem the relationship or engage them, we don't have to be confrontational enough, people. And that's why I don't understand with people. Like, we can engage, we can have a professional relationship and we still critique, right? Somebody said that I don't criticize Low anymore because me and Low are friend. Or I have access to the players. And this person be going around YouTube telling every channel the same thing. And I've said to people is this. Yes, I've met the player. Am I a friend of the player? No, I'm not a friend of the player. If I don't think the player is playing well, I'm going to say so. But I'm not going to come on and if I think the player should play, I'm going to say so. You can't tell me who to play, where, and when to play. That's my view. And your view is that the player should be out the team, and I like the player know, and I are friends, so that's why I'm saying that. No, I'm going to say what I think is the right, is my opinion, my perspective, what it should be. You can't define that. You can't influence that. I'm telling you that right now. So if I say something about a player, not a player, not because I know them or I'm supposedly a friend. I'm not friends with any player in the Jamaica football team. Not one. Because friend, I define friend to me and Minzy are friend. I'm just telling you that right now. Me and Minzy are friend. Me and our players in the Jamaica team are not friends. None of them. Have I met some of them? Yes. Were they kind of take pictures with me? Yes.
We have conversation.
Do we have conversation? Yes. But don't conflate being a friend with being an associate or someone I know I just met. That's not how it works. So, having said that, it's only on 6. Boy, on a cheap like
Kranky, you know, one of the next thing where me can't understand. Over the years, things have been said on these platforms, and a lot of things have been improving in the JFF because they themselves would have admitted that things were not as it's supposed to be. And it was because of our constant hitting on that snare. So the sound go up on the people them here. You get what I say?
Yeah.
These are things that have been done over the years that cause things to change. The JFF persons in the JFF said we are the ones who keep them accountable. But it sounds to me that is it this particular player that they're having a problem with? And a lot of players things have been said about them that they're not ready for the team, them not this, them not that.
No. It's a whole bunch of things. It is
so about full now.
It's a lot of things. It is calling somebody a 3-card man.
Oh,
there are a lot of things. It's being disrespectful in general. So 3-card man, criticizing player, criticize the administration, criticize the president, talking about people are conflict with they're not. But a lot of different stuff that informs the conversation.
Okay,
right?
okay.
And so it's not one thing, people.
Criticizing the new coach too.
Even the coach thing, criticizing the new coach. All of that is part of the whole equation. It is a theme of things which suggest all you guys are doing is negative. But as I dropped my video yesterday, people, go watch it. I did lay out Because here's the thing, JFF. We didn't tell Bunny Shaw to say what she said. We didn't tell Damian Lowe to have the boycott when they did with Austria. We didn't tell them to get to the Gensec when they go South America. Right? We didn't tell the girls not to go to the Gold Cup when you couldn't agree with them. There's a litany of stuff. Wait. No,
are you did I beat the girls them, Kranky?
I know.
You see? I know it take a turn. So only when it on for them against them something there. Okay.
Yeah, when it's negative, supposedly negative, it's not aligned with them. We're the ones who saying, look, the whole local football thing, that the coaching has to get better. The football has to get better. I gave them credit to say, you know what? They did the FIFA assessment. They were part of that whole thing. They should then tell us how they're progressing. Communication strategy. They don't want to do that. They want to be bullies and just do what they want to do, and we shouldn't have any say or any influence or anything. They believe the diaspora, to my view, I'm not saying they say this, but I believe that they think the diaspora is toxic.
Okay, so
that's what I'm gathering. They didn't say this. I'm not saying anybody say I say this, but I believe they think the diaspora is toxic. We know it all. We know everything. And frankly, we're not really adding anything because I guess the money's not pouring in or we're not going to games when they're here. And that's right. They're right. I've called the fans out on this. Whether it's in Jamaica or in the US, we don't go to enough games. But what are they doing to change the dynamics, to change the conversation, to change the discussion, to show that where they're improving? How transparent are they? I've been informed they went through a FIFA audit. And I've said, let me see the audit. Because you know what? I know what audit entails. I don't trust FIFA. And the view is that, well, I don't know everything. I don't trust FIFA. FIFA was the one who get indicted by the US years ago and do all sort of shenanigans. I don't trust. How can FIFA be okay to allow you to only 50 something delegates for an election when half the delegates you don't control already? How can FIFA be okay? How can FIFA be okay saying your conflicts are okay? The conflicts are not okay. How can FIFA say they're okay? FIFA don't know what they might do then. Right? FIFA is a challenge organization. And I'm not sure about the competence of their people. And people going to say, Kranky, you think you know everything? I don't know everything, people, but I'm telling you from my vantage point, what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing and what my perspective is. I don't trust FIFA. A lot of things I see with FIFA and what they do and how they do it, I don't know. People question how Qatar got the World Cup. Just saying, JFF. So you don't want to be with us. You don't want to be in our environment. You want to be with traditional media who do the same thing that we do, except you can't bully them in a JFF. You can't bully the small man. Don't be no for frightened. But you know, bully the big people, them who criticize, who call you a vulture, who say enough to resign, who say the president has no charm, charisma, no strategy, who say you're inefficient, but that you have strength for. That's amazing. Why don't you just boycott all media? Isn't that fair? If you think YouTubers are toxic, and from what I've read and seen and communicated, traditional media is also deemed to be toxic based on the criticism, then ban all media. And let's see how that works. But no, you're not banning like a small youth, them who try to do a thing. That's why I try ban. You know, I'm ban the big man because you can't ban them, you can't manage them. Because they will slaughter you if you do so. If you ever come on and say you're not going to deal with them, they'll slaughter you. So you're not going to try to ban them. The YouTubers, the small YouTubers who doesn't have the same profiling, doesn't have the same resources, you're not taking them on. You want to ban us. You'll deal with traditional media. Then, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. But we're not going anywhere. I hate to tell you that. Anywhere. Coach, look like you're on sleep. We're not going to wait people. Let me see any more comments I hear. Because I can't understand the perspective. I'm not saying all YouTubers are perfect. I'm not saying we are not critical. I'm not going to exclude myself from the concept. We can be critical, something overly critical. Yes, but we're pointing out things which need to change, and you can't stop us from pointing them out. Your quota needs to change. Your selection process needs to change. Your coaching needs to get better. Your administration needs to get better. You need to hire some better people. It's a fact. The Gleaner says so, and I'm saying the same thing. And if you don't let me agree with it, I don't necessarily agree with the Gleaner. I agree with them because the same observation I've had. You don't like it? Can't help you. Can't help you, Coach. We're almost at the end of the program, Coach. We have 12 minutes left. So people you want to call in, phone line is open. Let me put the phone number up here. You can call in, people. Phone line is on, people. We'll take one or two more calls before we close out this. And people, I don't have enough likes. 241 people, 177 likes. On this channel, people, and the regulars know. So some of you are not regulars, because I know this. You hit the like button when you come in the chat, because it's always a good conversation. So you have the foresight to know the conversation can be good. You may not like it, It may not be a cup of tea, but that doesn't mean the conversation is bad. You may just like it. But you can still hit the like button if the conversation is good. So people have been hearing this, people. So you saw this one, Minzy? What is this thing I'm hearing? I thought
That's absolute nonsense, Kranky.
Yeah, I've done research on this.
Nonsense.
My understanding that Nketiah has Ghanaian parents. So unless his grandparents or great grandparents have Jamaican in it, I have no idea about this. All I know is Ghanaian parents, and I did some research on this. I have nothing to say. He has Jamaican heritage. Good evening. Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
What's going on? What go on, Kranky? It's Jason Guna.
Jason Guna. What do you have to say, Jason? Mr. Guna, how you doing?
I'm doing well, you know. Big up yourself, coach. Big up all those in the chat as well.
Guna, big up yourself, you know. You not go on with yourself, but go on and enjoy yourself.
That's coming from my Guna. Don't worry about him making that comment. He's just in mourning. Just go ahead.
Yeah, man, me over still. Me know. As I said before, we have been there, so we can't see where I go through, you know. But yeah, no, I call about the conversation in regards to the statement by McLaren in the press conference. And I just think that it's interesting to see the difference in opinion in the chat and on the program, because one of you saying that, you know, this is what I've been saying all along, and one of you is kind of taking the stance of, you know, you don't even know if what he said is even a true statement, right? So the difference in opinion on this is basically in line with how the fan base is. If you look at the fan base most of the time, I think what ends up happening a lot, Kranky, is those of us who live in the diaspora, whenever we speak about anything to do with the Jamaican teams, we're automatically painted as if we don't like local players.
Yeah.
And when local panelists or analysts or YouTubers or whoever talk about the Jamaican national team, they are told that they only see the local players and they don't have no time for the diaspora players. And I feel like when most of the time, I think most of us are more balanced in our thoughts, but we're just labeled a certain way based on our address. And I feel like if you look at the people who are responding positively to what he said and just saying, well, he's telling the truth, those are probably the ones who believe that, you know, the local players get a fight and nobody don't rate them and things of that nature. And others saying other things are probably on the other side. But I just feel like everything in life, there's a balance. And so, you know, me personally, I've always said this and I'll maintain it. The best players, now obviously that's not something set in stone. Who I think is the best might not who Kranky thinks is the best and vice versa. And that's why I never understand when people get so bent out of shape when a squad comes out and people are arguing about the players, because that's the nature of sports. You know, if you ask somebody right now, name me the 3 best players in the world, you would get 3 different answers from 100 people.
That is true.
And that is just how sports works. So it's not about local or overseas. It's just sports. We're never going to agree on things because we may not see things the exact same way. And that's why I feel like there is a lane for people who discuss football, because every perspective is going to be a little different than everybody else's. I've heard so many people talking about this Declan Rice red card, and I have heard so many different reasonings on how it played out the way it did. That is just sports. It have nothing to do with, it's not a Jamaica specific thing, right?
True.
So basically all I'm saying is, me personally, I don't agree with the statement he made in terms of like not saying that the statement is false, right? Because if you're born in a place, like, okay, put it this way, it depends on where you're born. Because I was born in the States and I never wanted to play for the USA in anything. I represented the country in sports before. I was called to represent the country in another sport. I have never once tried to play for the US. So I don't think you can just say automatically, wherever you're born is where you're going to want to play. I disagree with that totally, because I am living proof of it not being a true statement.
Right.
Now, I wasn't born in England, so I don't know if it would have been different if I was born there. But at the same time, I can only go with what, you know, I will always put my own experience into my thought process, right? So I just don't think that statement is a blanket statement that can just be true across the board. And you have mentioned it on the show already. What's Dexter's mindset? What's Karai's mindset? What is Splat's mindset? Kova's mindset? Players who have come out and said they want to represent us. Mother Sil, you know, players that are young. Yes, maybe they haven't reached where they want to reach in their careers as yet. But are you telling me they lack belief more than Omari Hutchinson?
Yeah, so here's a perfect example, people. Here's a perfect example. And we're going to always have this thing about local versus overseas. So the best player for the under-20 was Welch, wasn't it? That's not debatable, correct?
I wouldn't debate you on that. No.
So why wasn't he called instead of the player who was called?
And therein lies the rub, Kranky.
Yep. And it wasn't close. It
the
wasn't close, by the way, people. It wasn't close if you watch the games. That's the point I'm trying to make, which is this. So you'll never have those players coming to your national team because you'd have pushed them away. Because if you're going to sit there, he's going to sit there and saying, but I was better than this player. Why is he there instead of me? And then someone's going to say, no, you're fighting the local player. That's what we hear all the time, you know. Nobody's fighting anybody. We watch these players all the time in this region. We think we know those players. We think we know their ability. We're going to judge them based on what we see and our own assessment. It may not align with someone else. But to say we are fighting those players because you're local or because you reside locally, to me, that's ridiculous. But it's what we hear all the time. You guys in diaspora only want overseas-based players. And we could say you in local only want local players. That's the way we see it. So what's the encouragement for any of those overseas youths who are young, who only want to play for Jamaica? That's why I'm fighting what McLaren is saying. Because they all don't want to play for England.
Correct. And that's why I think he erred by saying that, because there are players who have come out themselves and said that they want to play for Jamaica and not for England. So
yep.
I just don't think the statement was necessary. And I think it just gives legs to those who have this thing in their head that, listen, until they reach a certain age, they don't really care about us. And the ones who do are England, our words, you know, that word that them always say. So I just feel like if our goal, right, is to try to get heritage players to get on board, I don't know how helpful it was for him to make that statement in a press conference. That's just my thoughts on it. I know people say, you know, maybe you're taking it too literal, or maybe you're not understanding what he was saying, but it's not a matter of, you know, you don't really need to infer from that statement. You just hear what he said, and he said it plainly.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you can go around that. It's not
There's no ambiguity in what he says. There's no ambiguity.
None at all. None at all. None at all. He just said what he said. And I just think that forum, even if he felt that, even if somebody told him that verbatim, I would not be repeating that at a press conference. I don't think that's his place for that, because you know how articles are written in media. They're gonna take out one line that they want to push the narrative for, and they got the ammunition there. And it makes sense that some of the people are saying, yeah, look how long we are trying to tell you that, and this man, we a big coach, come tell you that now. Well, I just think that.
But here's the thing: the same Cavalry team the coach has lauded. We saw them against Cincinnati this year, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So what is he? What's his? It makes me question the coach. If you're going to tell me how great this team is, and I saw them against Cincinnati, so people in the chat, like TikTok, who are running off their mouth, and this Kevin person running off their mouth. The same Cavalier team, he praised about how great they are. And they beat police, and it was boys against men, and they destroyed them. What did they do against Cincinnati people? Kevin, TikTok, Football Guru, all you guys who are JFF personnel who are in the chat, please explain to me what the same Cavaliers team we're talking about, who beat police 4-1, who destroyed them, as the coach said, who have all this great talent. How did you match them against Cincinnati, which is an MLS team? It ain't League One. It ain't Eredivisie. It's not the German league. Let me know how the team played against
push here.
Cincinnati. Yes, coach. Appreciate you.
Yeah, big up Guna.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, big up, coach.
Yeah, Guna. That's my point, Guna, which is what's the benchmark? What is the benchmark?
Well, and again, that's the problem. I heard people saying, boy, you know, well, and again, they won a competition. So you give them their praise. You didn't have to win. You could have went there and lost.
Yeah.
But everyone that, you know, thinks about the game a bit more deeply mentioned, okay, now let's see the next step when we face CONCACAF opposition and not just Caribbean. Because when we go to this World Cup or try to go to the World Cup, we don't have a Caribbean zone that we play in, people. We play CONCACAF. So that means Central America and North America will be in the running to play against us.
Yes.
So I am happy that we went to the Caribbean and dominated. Where we need to be in football, we should dominate in the Caribbean. Right? But let's not, you know, same is being done with this Cavaliers win over police. That's a Caribbean team.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Guna. So we beat a team 7-1 in the finals. And the coach was effusive in his praise. Fine, you want to praise him. Nobody infers what the under-20 does. They don't mention it. They skim over it. In a league where they got 50-0 in 3 games. That's an average of 5 goals against you a game. No one mentioned anything. It's almost like it never happened.
And there's a direct correlation, Kranky, between the results against the Caribbean being excellent
Yes.
And when we go to the next level, we are substandard to them, and it's obvious.
And the Caribbean is no longer the competition.
And then if you bring these things up, we not like local baller. They don't have nothing to do with local or anything.
Yeah.
It's just reality, people. And it's, the faster we come to grips with reality, the faster we'll be able to improve.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that this is not about being negative or being contrary to the coach. I'm going what the coach says. And if I was answering that question, I would say the players have England heritage. They're born in England. We can understand why they want to play for England. However, we're still going to pursue some of those players, and we will not never take no for an answer. We watch them. We see how they go. They may not get the England team. They're still going to be on the radar. That's the way you answer the question. You move forward. You don't say they want to play for England, and that's what they should do. That's not, then you shouldn't be Jamaica coach. You shouldn't be Jamaica coach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it just opens itself up to people saying, boy, you know, what's his real intention here? I mean, I don't get it. You know, if in the first press conference before we had any squads picked, he mentioned heritage and commitment and all these things. And in this one now, he's telling, why didn't he tell us this from the first press conference then? Like, why is he saying
in the
it
first
now?
press conference, he was praising the talent on the island based on the assessment he did. And here's the thing, people. We don't know what that looks like. I have seen the document. I keep mentioning these people. And JFF don't want to publish it. And the document should be published to the stakeholders of the JFF, not the JFF.
You have been able to get eyes on that document?
No, for another country.
Okay.
I've seen it for another country. I see what the assessment was done.
I have also seen other countries as well.
And I've seen the comparison. And I would love to see what it looks like. Because all this talent we say we have, I want to see what that assessment look like. Because it breaks down a lot of different categories and criteria as to how you do assessment. It's very comprehensive. It compares you to the first to 20, 21 to 50, and 51 to 100. There's no ambiguity in the document. It's clear in terms of the criteria, in terms of coaching and infrastructure and things of that nature. And you'll be looking at it and be able to assess and say, you know what? Oh, this is where we fall out. I'd love to see it and to see how he draw the conclusion. What did he look at to say we have all this talent on the island? You may have raw material in the people. If I have bricks and columns for a building, and it's great bricks and column, it doesn't mean anything until I build the building. It's not a house. They're just bricks and mortar and columns. And we're confusing how we define talent with actually, can they go on the football field and perform against the better competition in the region? Not in the world, you know, just in this region, the better competition. That's not, the local talent have not shown that to date.
The thing is, you know, I think when people talk about talent, they need to not exclude the mental side of the game, right? And I think what we notice a lot with our players, maybe, you know, the reaction time, which has something to do with technique as well, but I think reaction time has a lot to do with how you think the game as well.
Yep.
And I think that's something that holds us back, and it's something that we don't really discuss. So when we discuss talent, it's always a lot of physical skills. But I think a part of talent and the makeup of the 100% of talent is a lot to do with your mentality as well. And that's the part that we fall a bit short. And I think that's just due to, you know, lack of development in the coaching and things of that nature, which we're trying to improve.
Yeah.
But I think until we start to look at talent in its realest form, which has a lot to do with the mental side and not just the physical side, then we'll evaluate the players a lot better than we do now.
Here's the funny thing, Gunnar. So if we look at Arsenal team, do we say this player is talented when we know the player? How do we define talent? That's what I'm struggling with, right? Well, when we look at a player, we know what talent entails. If it's just raw material, until that raw material gets nurtured, it's not talent yet. It has the potential to be very good talent, but you tell me how much talent we have, and I'm not seeing it manifest itself. This is for a while now, and I'm asking, well, what am I missing? Because I don't have all the answers. What am I missing?
Yeah, look, I think that raw talent term comes up a lot, and I think it's the best way to put it, really and truly, because it is raw talent. I think when they venture into, we just have so many talented players, I think they're not really looking at the full composition of what makes the talent.
Yeah.
You know, the raw talent conversation is more realistic because, as you said, raw talent kind of lends itself to think, okay, there's something there, but it's going to need to be honed and developed more to get to that level where we need it to be. And I think that's where a lot of the Jamaican players that play on the island are at now. There's a lot of potential in a lot of the players, but it's not being, you know, developed at the rate that we need it to be. And it's evidenced by a lot of the players that go overseas. They get a couple of games in the national team. They go overseas to a club, and breaking news from BAM Sports, they're back in the JPL. So I feel like we need to just kind of take a step back, reassess everything. And again, I will keep on saying this till I'll never stop. People need to stop thinking recruiting for all our national teams in any way stops development from happening on the island. Those two things can happen simultaneously. I will keep on saying it forever and ever and ever. Stop putting out this narrative that if we recruit players, the local players can't develop. That makes no sense. So we need to stop thinking that those two things are linked, because I think that's a big part of the problem. The minute you start talking about heritage players, people are assuming, so what about the players on the island? Well, what about all the competitions that are being played?
Yeah.
They're not playing football still.
Yeah.
There's so many players that have gone overseas and never got a cap for Jamaica, ever. So I don't buy into this, if we don't have space for them in the national teams, then they won't develop. That's just not true. That's just true. So we need to beat that out, Kranky. You, myself, anybody else with a platform, beat that into people's heads that, listen, just because you didn't make the national team at the youth level, the under 20, the under 17, whatever age group, doesn't mean that you can't get somewhere in the football or off the island, because we've seen it already happen.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all I will say on that.
All right,
good show as usual.
Yeah, man.
And people stop make Kranky cussing about the likes, no man, and just like the video, no man.
All right, good. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. So let me address TikTok. TikTok always coming here with his JFF hat on, never leave his at home. So he says, Kranky, your argument is logical. Interesting. Way to start. Our Jamaicans are not useless because we do not play like Arsenal. You've of course said we have some youth talent. Don't let it upset you in foolishness. Okay. I saw the talent in the under 20 TikTok. I saw the talent in the under 20 against good competition. I saw it. TikTok. I saw it. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Hello.
My time, yeah, man. Can't pick up yourself. Flavor Max,
how you doing?
So, not too bad, man. I mean, we were on the same side with Coach Halgrims. I was one of the first person to pick up that he was a fraud, but we're not on the same side this time. Okay. I think you're reading into it a little bit wrong, Kranky. So let me put it out there first. I don't care about no heritage or no homegrown. I don't care. You could come from Timbuktu. Once you are able to play for Jamaica, I'm okay with that. You could come from country in Jamaica, wherever. I don't care about this.
Can I ask that question? Can I ask that question?
Yeah, definitely.
Here's my question. So you are the coach. You were once the coach of Jamaica national team, right? You were once the coach, right? Now you're gonna coach Guyana, okay? Right? You have a bunch of players from Jamaica with Guyana heritage. Would you be comfortable recruiting those players to take them away from Jamaica and go play for Guyana? Would you be comfortable?
As a professional, yes. As a professional, yes, I would have a problem with that, because then, if that is the case, then we shouldn't have foreigners coaching.
No. You missed my point. We don't. This is a unique situation. No. This is unique because we don't have a situation where there are a lot of Jamaicans in Spain who can play for Jamaica. Right? We don't have it. So we have a Spain coach.
Professional.
But in most countries of the world, you wouldn't have that. Maybe the US nowadays, if Jamaica migrate here.
Yeah, but it happened.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a unique situation. It's a unique situation. Very unique.
It's a unique situation, but we have to trust that people are professionals, and they will operate as such. Okay. But I will tell you this too. I can see it is reasonable enough for you to think along that line, and I'll beat you to think of that line. Okay. But what I interpret from what you could say, could say, because I have been saying that from ever since. And if I am wrong, I want you to tell me that I am wrong and give me an example. Tell me, when have you seen a player or players choose Jamaica over England from the age of 20 to 25? I mean, players who are touted, who are in the conversation to get called up for England. I don't mean players who have never really, their names are not in the conversation to play for England.
So here's the thing.
Players who are on the fringe have been selected.
Here's what we're missing. Actually, here's what we're missing. What we haven't asked is this is the question we should be asking: have we created a vision and a strategy to recruit players who weren't born locally? A really deductive assessment process, a real strategy and a vision about how we go recruiting players. So when we ask the question about have we recruited players, the question is, well, what informed the recruiting process and how have we done? Because you know what? Mikel Antonio, before he went to the England camp, wanted to play for Jamaica way back when. Raheem Sterling wanted to play for Jamaica. Calvin Phillips wanted to play for Jamaica, right? Have we had a really formalized structure and strategy to go recruit players? Lambakizi is under 20. We don't know what Lambakizi's potential is, right? But he came here under 20. So did Kera Anderson, right? We have had a few.
Yeah, but
wait. Connor Boyce Clark.
Mentioned.
No, but I'm telling you, some of these kids have played for the England junior team. Some of these kids have played for the England junior team. Go ahead.
But their names are not in the conversation to be selected for the senior team. So I made that clear.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is that if I'm an elite talent, of course I may want to play for the country where I'm born. That's just natural. But if I made the case for you to come play for me, we have a player like Aubameyang who was in France, who played for his country. That's a different conversation, though. Wait. But I'm saying we haven't done recruiting. It's the same conversation. Zaha went and played for Ivory Coast, even though he probably had a chance to go play for England, right? Because they made a concerted effort to recruit him. We haven't done that as an island, as a country. Go ahead.
Island, but that's not Steve McLaren's fault, though. That's why I said that's a different conversation. That have nothing to do with Steve McLaren. No, I am with you when you say, what have we put in place to attract? Because I was getting to that, because right now it seems as if, because as a man, how I am, Flavor Max attract, Flavor Max don't beg. And it seems to me like we're begging now. And I am not in this thing of begging to people to come and play for us. I am with you. Put things in place to attract them. Make they want to come to us because of what we are doing over here. So I am with you with that.
So Flavor Max, it's not Flavor Max. Must stop it. It's not begging enough. It's being persistent. When you want a girl that you check for, a beggar or you're a pursuer. You're a pursuer.
Well, that's a thin line.
No, thin line. You're a pursuer, right? You spend time and invest in trying to get her to come to you, right? You're a beggar, you're a pursuer.
If she tell you with words or actions, say, boy, she favor somebody else, you're still going to, what are you going to do? You're not going to say, John O'Star. I hate that.
No, some people will not say that.
You're still going to stay around?
Use the word beg again. Use the word beg. It's not beg.
No,
wait. Flavor Max. How long did the US pursue Balogun? Who could also play for England? How long did they pursue him?
Balogun name was never in the conversation to play for England. His name was never.
I didn't say no. I said Balogun. That is what you see in the conversation to play for England.
Yes, his name is in the conversation.
No, Balogun played for the junior team.
He recently gets selected.
We can't check. Flavor Max. The under 21 is not England. Balogun played for the junior teams also. We can't put the narrative the way we want it. Go ahead, Flavor Max. We can't just have it our way.
I'm going to make you speak.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but Hutchinson is not what Coach McLaren is saying, is that it is their right to want to wait to see.
Yes, and nobody's disputing that. Flavor Max. And he said that's what they should do. That's basically what he's saying. And I'm saying that's not. He shouldn't have said that.
I think he said that's a good mentality to have. And nothing
No. Don't skip.
No.
You know what? I wrote it down. So that's another thing to people. He basically said.
He said that's what they should do.
Wait. Ambition is to play for England, and that is right. What makes it right or wrong?
That is right, and nothing is wrong with that.
I don't agree with him on that. I think he should have said, saying that is right. That means, I agree. No. I agree with that mentality. No. You're the coach for the team that's trying to pursue those players. It's not your right to say that. You should not say that. Then I will not trust you. Because you're saying that, all these, you're saying, wait. You're saying all these players who are young should go play for England. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
No. Because remember, he was asked a question about some particular players, right? Gibbs White, Hutchinson, etc. These players, Hutchinson have shown before McLaren came here that he's not committed to the cause, right? Gibbs White have shown that, well, his name is in the conversation. Now he's been selected. So he was waiting. So these players already shown that they are not committed. So he said that it is their right if they think they're good enough.
You know what's funny?
Wait for a selection. It is their right.
Here's what you guys miss in the conversation. Even though he mentioned players who may be past that mid-stage, that 24, 25, he ain't mentioned one player he spoke to. He ain't mentioned he spoke to any player over 24, 25. And there are a bunch of them too.
Yeah, he kind of paraphrase it, he just never want to hear what he didn't want to do, Kranky. He didn't want to say, yo, I talk to Kranky.
He doesn't have to say that. He didn't have to say that.
Throw you under the bus. Because you see, if they say, yo, I talk to Kranky and Kranky say my weight. It's like him throw Kranky under the bus. He didn't want to do that.
No, he could have said, I spoke to a number of other players and we're in conversation. Or they're not interested. There's a difference. And we make an excuse for the coach. We're making excuses for the coach. Making excuses for the coach.
But now I make an excuse for the coach, Kranky, because I don't do that. So I'm going to have to make excuses for people. But again, I think he's consistent in being who. I think he's. I remember, he talk about commitment from day one,
Yes,
he talk about commitment.
Yes.
And he's been consistent with what he spoke about in the first press conference. That means
if you know him talk. If I just heard him talk and didn't hear his accent, I would think he was from the JFF. If you listen to the man speak on what he has said, Flavor Max, as you talked about that, as you talked about local talent and all that, I would think he's from the JFF. I call it in Jamaica curry favor. I call it curry favor. I'm trying to get involved with my employers. I'm trying to be in their good graces. That's what I call it. Some of the comments he's made, trying to be in their good graces. Now, some people may say, Kranky, you're being very negative and you're extrapolating things that are not there. That's what I heard.
Well, say we Jamaicans, Kranky, we're not easy, we hard to please, because me here when Hal Grimson, even though I born out Hal Grimson, when Hal Grimson was asked a question about the food, the man said not like the food.
I love him saying that. I love him saying that because we have this misconception that everybody gonna love our food because we think our food is the best thing in sliced bread, just like we think our talent is the best thing in sliced bread. Hal Grimson and John Walden said the talent was that great. John Walden said the talent was that great. John Walden didn't run and say the under 20 are that great. He wanted to get all overseas players. I interviewed John Wall.
But I heard you said John Wall said the talent was not great. I know McLaren is saying the talent is great. Talented, because you asked the question, what is talent? Who would you say is a talented player? Talent is subjective, I can think a player is talented and you can think him not good,
Well, there's talent. There's talent and there are levels to talent. So I could be great. I could be very talented in the Caribbean and dominate. But if I step up, I may not be able to be measured. I can be measured, but I may not satisfy what's required at that level. And I use the Cavaliers. People say, yeah, beat Cavaliers. No. I'm giving an example. Cavaliers he used Cavaliers, He said how talented they were when they played Police. And I said, see the same team play Cincinnati, and they look like they're fish out of water. Did you watch the Cavaliers Cincinnati game?
All right, so let me ask you this then, Kranky, because then we're going to tie in everything now, because we can't have cake and eat.
Yes.
Now, we have been hearing this age-long conversation about conflict of interest. Him speaking like this, especially about Cavaliers, do you think this is where people have been talking about conflict of interest and why it's not a good thing?
Yeah, it's a unique conflict, to be honest. The conflict with England is pure and clear. And he shouldn't be part of the recruiting process. He should not be. He should be part of in terms of what players you see. I don't think he should do the recruiting. That's my philosophy. Because the conflict is there. I've been trying to say it to the JFF, which I don't listen to, and they get into their feelings about speed of conflict. McLaren have conflict. And I've been told that other people in the JFF have conflict. Speed of conflict, McLaren have conflict. They have put no measures in place to manage those conflicts. So those conflicts will just sit out there and create more skepticism and have people be more uncomfortable. They're clear conflicts. If you're going to recruit from England, where Steve McLaren is born, and he was the coach for the national team, and he's known there, and he's an Englishman, and you say there's no conflict, you have no idea what a conflict entails.
Yeah.
So what measures do you have in place to help mitigate that conflict? And you want to call me criticism and say, just by the fine, pull this thing out the hat, then you have no idea what a conflict entails. Right?
Last thing before me run.
Yeah, man.
What is the coach's primary job? Is his primary job to recruit players or to coach this team?
Right. So
to the World Cup?
They're not mutually exclusive. His primary job is to get himself the best chance to get to the World Cup. To get to the World Cup, he needs the best players available. To get the best players available, he got to go recruit some of those players because he's got holes in his team that needs to be filled. These things are not mutually exclusive. They're all intertwined. So I need to go find, for example, we all, including people in Jamaica, some of the people in leadership roles in Jamaica and the JFF realize that we need to enhance the midfield. You have to go recruit for those positions, right? Whether you recruit them in Jamaica or you recruit them from overseas in people who are naturalized, you have to recruit for those positions, right? His job is to go find the best players, make sure you have competition for every single position to make sure if we have injuries, people not available, he'll have backups to cover and make sure we can progress. Because we don't make the World Cup this time, we ain't making the World Cup no time soon.
That's true. But then he also spoke about commitment and he spoke about development. So if those players that we would love to see, heritage players I'm talking about, if they're not committed, it don't seem to me like he's going to run down.
No, and that's fine.
Because he spoke about it.
Yeah. I would say this. If I go to Hutchison and you say, you know what, coach, I'm in England 2021. I want to play for England. I say, you know what, if you change your mind, let me know. But good luck to you. And I wish you the best. And I hope you do well. And I hope you make the England team. I'm fine with that. Right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's my view. But don't tell me that's their right. It's the right thing for them to do to go play for England. I'm not buying your nonsense because I'm trying to recruit them for my team. That you saying is the right thing for them to do. I'm going to feel that, you know what? You're going to tell all of them the same thing. It's your right to go play for it where you're born. So if you're number 50 on the list and England have a 100 player, have a fit list of 50, you're number 100, you should stay and wait because you're young. I'm not buying that because I've seen a bunch of young players. I had a list of 14 players who could have made the under 14 team that I got who were not calling because we have a quota system who want to come play for Jamaica. Some of those players can transition to the senior team. So don't give me this notion that because everyone is young, they don't want to come play for us. I'm not buying that. And it's even going to be worse when it comes to the US because people, there can be much more players in the US who are much more connected to the island because England is so far away. That distance, as we go from generation to generation, gets further and further. You wait in the US, you're going to have a flood of them. So this thing about it is not sustainable. I'm telling you, you're going to have a flood of kids who grew up in the US who are really connected to Jamaica. They come to Jamaica all the time. They live like they're Jamaican when they're in the US, going to want to play for the national team. You're going to ban all of them? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, Flavor.
All right.
Yeah, man.
We'll see what happens on the 6th.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the call. Look, we're cheering for the team on the 6th. We hope they do well, and we hope the coaches do well.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Thanks. So, people, very spirited discussion as I expected. TikTok, the Jamaica, who's part of the JFF. McLaren is like most coaches. They see the talent and think they can bring it out with right training. The man knows his stuff. He's a well-trained youth program. Hey, yeah. I have no comment on that TikTok. I don't know what to say. Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
How are you doing? What do you like to say to the audience? Some of them are still not don't want to hit the like button, but it's okay. I get it. How are you doing?
I was hoping that Minzy stuck around. I'm sorry I missed him.
Yeah, no, he had to leave. You told me he was going to be here a short time. He probably stayed longer than he could afford to do so, but I appreciate him being here.
Because when I met Minzy, he didn't strike me as a guy that would be a United fan.
Why? They come in all shape and sizes, and our perspective.
Yeah. And all perspectives. But you allow him to come on today, and you didn't treat it properly. He's a United fan, and they're not doing well. You're supposed to beat him with that.
We did beat him. You didn't watch the program.
No, I watched the program.
I didn't want. No. I don't want us to be the arrogant Arsenal fans, and we haven't won anything in a while. So you got to be very careful about your beating, because when you beat somebody, your beating is right around the corner.
That is true, but United played Liverpool. I didn't think Liverpool the flowers.
No, but what Minzy did, he acquiesced very early. He basically said he didn't watch the game. So what, you gonna beat somebody who say, you know what, I surrender? You can't be beating people who surrender. You just leave them alone. You say, you know what?
So who show is it?
It was his show, that part. It was his show. It was his show.
This is Kranky Live. He's a United fan, and you had to give him some licks, because when they catch me, it's trouble. You know?
No. See, if I give him, say the thing. I like to manage pressure before the pressure occurs. It's visionary. So if I don't beat him up, when my time comes to beat him, he will also hopefully have the same decorum and don't beat me up. Right? You guys don't do that. You just go extreme. I don't go. I only go extreme. I don't think I'm extreme when it comes to the JFF. Extreme. Our people are saying, you haven't even given McLaren a chance. You're just trying to beat the man right away. I'm calling out what I see, people. The conflict is there. No one can say the conflict is. What is your view on this? Let me hear your view. Isn't there a conflict?
There's a perceived conflict.
But there's a conflict. It's not perceived. It's a conflict.
Well, conflict could be perceived as well, right? It is.
I know, but I'm saying it's not perceived. It's a conflict. It's like, here's the thing, people. There's a conflict. And here's another thing, people. I'm not talking about conflict on top of my head. I know what a conflict is. I've written papers on conflict. I have audited conflicts. So this is not some person you just like to run his mouth because you know what he's talking about. I know what a conflict entails. The way you manage conflict, one of two things. You either get rid of the conflict or you mitigate the conflict, meaning you reduce the conflict. You can't eliminate the conflict.
Because there can be positive and negative outcomes from it. Depends on how you deal
with it.
Right?
Yes, how you deal with it, how you manage it. Yes. So we're not guessing this thing. We know this thing.
But I think when you look at what you and him look at your place, you all played the tape and you documented what was said. That could easily be an observation. There's really no proof in the conversation that conversations took place, because if I'm functioning in a society, if I'm coaching in an environment, I would know what the players' ambitions are, right?
Right.
And as somebody pointed out earlier, they were born in America and they never wished to play for America. They always wanted to play or participate for the parents' country or something like that. I think somebody mentioned earlier. But that could easily be an observation that was shared, based on years and years of being in a space and not really going through any conversation. And that's a challenge. The challenge throughout the region is people coming into the region and we thinking that they would have our best interests at heart. And I'm not accusing this gentleman of anything. What I'm saying is there's a lot of expert that comes into the region, and when they leave, we don't have any proof that an expert was there, right? Or they don't do things that's in our best interests.
Right.
They do whatever they do, and then they move on, and we left with whatever we want. And I think we, in the entire region, we need to do a better job than that. And we need to look in spaces like, in Dominican Republic, they're getting the information from Spain, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be frank. So I was watching a program the other day, big deal. Not big deal. Before the game, big deal.
Are you crazy?
Big deal. And the program was talking through.
You're reading the chat. That's your problem.
I'm digressing here. The program was talking through the most wealthiest families in Jamaica. I was shocked.
The program was talking about what?
The wealthiest families in Jamaica, like the top 20 families in Jamaica.
Right.
Very few, if any, were black.
Yeah.
Jamaica, so what population in Jamaica? What, 90% black? Maybe a high number?
Yeah.
Very few, if any, were black.
I did that maybe about a year ago in regards to Trinidad, and it's
shocking. And here's why that's shocking. Because then you have my interest at heart. Do you have the population interest at heart? You control all the resources. Do you really care? Or you care about something else? Right?
Well, you could see it in the football, right? That's why,
so you don't invest in the football. You don't invest in the football.
Yeah.
You don't invest in the football because you know what? You don't the football doesn't apply to you. It has nothing to do with you. Because you don't have that connectivity.
Yeah, who plays the football?
Yeah.
Who plays the football? Normally the football is littered with people from the underserved communities, right?
Yep.
And those are the kids that all the top talents. That's normally their background, most of them, and in I know I can speak for Trinidad right now. The business community is not investing in the football, and they're not investing in the football. And I can't understand what the argument would be,
right?
Because as a corporation, you have responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
And if you understand what making it possible for young people to play sport and what it can do, the difference it can make in their lives, then, you know, as a responsible corporate citizen, you'd participate. And as you spoke about the bond that that was put out to raise 200 million for U.S. Soccer Federation.
Yeah.
Everybody that's going to fund that understand their responsibility.
Yep. Yeah.
They understand the responsibility.
So one second before the game. Hey, TikTok. Good night. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
good night, TikTok. Have a good evening, TikTok. I put it. I could ignore you're coming to TikTok, but I put it up for a reason. Good night, TikTok. Have a good evening. Have a good evening. TikTok out of here. No. Hey, Gigs. Sorry, I knew a lot of people. I know that from I'm growing up, the Matalan, the Issas, the Dennis and Gigs. I knew a lot of them. But when you see all the totality of it, right? Because you think in the last, I left Jamaica a long time ago. You think over the last 20, 30, 40 years, the dynamics would have changed. It's the same names I've seen from us growing up. It ain't changed. That's like, I left Jamaica, I won't say a long ago, but a long time ago. The name ain't changed. That's why I was shocked. So when TikTok trying to question my Jamaica history, TikTok, good night, TikTok away. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's an agitator. He just come to get halftime.
He's from the JFF. All they do is whine and complain about it getting criticized. Do better. Go whine to the girls' team. Go whine to the men's team. Go whine to FIFA. Don't come whine to me about how Jamaica get criticized too much. Don't want to hear you whining.
If I could share my observation about the conversation, though, is that ever since the World Cup or this phase of the football, you guys have been talking about this phase of the football, I don't think there's been most of the people have no problem with pursuing players from outside, and there's been a few people that is against it. But the list of names that keep coming up, you know, people will all say, yeah, they're a viable candidate.
Right.
What is interesting is even in this conversation here today, I was hearing some people accepting what can be considered some type of admonishment. Hey, you can't touch this set here, but you can touch that set over there.
In terms of what? I'm not sure I follow. In terms of what?
Well, in terms of the 22 and 23-year-old and the 24-year-old that is still at, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like
they're off the table.
Yeah, why would they be off the table? You go talk to them. They tell you no. You said fine. You said no. Call me if you change your mind. And as he said, the door is somebody asking the question. I think this first comment about when you're going to have a cutoff. He said there's no cutoff period. So that means the same players could change their mind. They may get close to the World Cup and say, you know what? A year away, England team not looking good. I want to play in the World Cup. I'm going to do it now. I can't wait. I'm never getting to the England team. So if you don't talk to them, how you going to know? If you don't ever pursue them and give them a compelling case to join, why are you going to make a decision? If you don't have a vision and a strategy, how would they even consider you?
Right.
The JFF have never had a recruiting strategy. Never had a good recruiting strategy. From what I've been told, never had a great recruiting strategy. It's the people like Devon out there pounding the pavement, trying to bring players in 24/7, and then I give him no credit. Right? That's some of the people out there pounding the pavement. It's people like Cataract who come up with database. JFF didn't come up with no initial database. People like Cataract, to get him credit, come up with a database. Or people like what's his name, who's the media person? Why am I having a seniors moment? I have these every show, you know. No, he's gonna come. He's gonna come. But you have people with their database who tell you the history of the player, where they have played before, what their heritage is. They're the people who come up with it, and then all of a sudden that database now get to the JFF. JFF didn't come up with a database, so when they complained about being critical, of course we're going to be critical because we don't see the strategy coming from you. Same people doing the same thing every day, and when we criticize you, you get into your feelings, but you're gonna ban us. Can't ban people from YouTube. Only YouTube can ban we. Only can ban we.
It's probably a response, based on the current situation, because nobody bans ESPN when they criticize. I mean, that's sport. Somebody is making.
But no, I just told you what the Glean have said about them. That they should resign, basically.
Yeah, I mean
that the president doesn't know what he's doing. Basically, I'm just summarizing what they've said. Maverick calling them vultures, but they're chasing Greenwood like vultures. That's regular media. Why aren't you banning them? Why aren't you saying you're not going to engage with them? Because you know what? WNO for frightened. That's what it is. As the saying goes.
It's time for the YouTubers to organize and probably become, an organization.
We can't organize. See what going on YouTube. See them man have a war. See YouTubers in a war. When you talk about organize.
Well, it just needs some leadership because some of that stuff seem to be foul behavior, and it just needs some
I'm just ducking. All I'm doing is ducking. I am all big and compromised and organized and getting together. But when they're throwing their haymakers, I'm just trying to get out of the way. I don't want to get hit.
Yeah, maybe it's time for the YouTubers to organize, man, and create, because a lot of people think in terms of institution, right? If you're seen to be an individual doing something, it's easy to attack you. It's easy to go after you because they would not think that you have the resources to respond.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're an institution, if there's a togetherness, then there will be people would think twice about whether or not or how to respond to you, how to behave towards you. So
let me say some TikTok. TikTok, don't talk about what you don't know. Let me just say that's your TikTok. Don't talk about what you don't know. Because I get messages. I see stuff, TikTok. So don't tell me what you don't know. Person can't do it upon every player. But TikTok, I know what happened to TikTok because you guys have your quota system. So many players can't get into the team. So not bother with that TikTok. I try to call out people because I know you're in the JFF. If you stop on a quota system, you could bring in players, but not having a quota system, so you can't bring them in. And I've seen messages TikTok. So we're not talking from the top of our head TikTok. We have evidence. Because I have confidentiality, I would show you some of those evidence TikTok. Talking your nonsense. You're here supporting the JFF. Get your facts right. Yes, Claudine, I have senior moments. Father Time always wins. Yes. Just like how the media always win, including the YouTube media, because media is media. Media is always undefeated. Always remember that.
You're 4 days away. Is it 4 days away from Nations League?
Yes, Nations League on the 6th, so we won't be doing any more beating after today. We weren't beating today anyway. We're just having a discussion. We're not beating.
From the first game, I think everybody gonna be playing. When is that? On Friday? Is it Friday or Saturday?
Huh?
When is the 6th? Friday or Saturday?
I think it's Friday, actually. So Amen who says, please stop defaming the coach. There's no evidence the coach is discouraging the players from playing for us. Where's the evidence? Amen, Henry. Nobody said the coach was discouraging. Amen, Henry. You people need to listen before you start speaking.
Yeah, defaming.
When did anybody say the coach is discouraging players?
Yeah.
Amen, Henry. Please don't make statement which you're defaming the host. Amen, Henry. Because you know what? The program is recorded. Amen, Henry. So don't defame the coach. You're defaming me. Right now, you're defaming me. Whenever I said the coach is stopping play, is discouraging players from playing. Whenever I said that, Amen, Henry, don't put words in my mouth because I haven't said that. And people in the chat can tell me if I've said that tonight. Where have I said that? Please state the facts and don't make suppositions. The fact of the matter is, he said the players should play for the country they're born in, and I brought that out. If you don't like it, then so is life. Well, let me tell you. Go ahead for the game. Everybody in their feelings.
Nice, boy.
Everybody in their feelings. You can have a different opinion. Kranky, you're wrong. What's his name came on and said, Kranky, I don't agree with you. We're on different sides. I'm fine with that. Yeah, wait. Here. There's a quota policy which has never been implemented. Some sports aren't good enough to want to play Kranky. You just don't know it. TikTok. You're starting to annoy me. Because TikTok, the technical head of the technical committee come and said there's a quota system. And you're now saying it's never been implemented. There's a quota system. He says not for the senior team, even though it's in the senior team, but it's very subtle and it's not pervasive. But for the junior team, that's why John Wall was reassigned. People, please get your facts before you come in these forums and make your statements, okay? The list of 14 players didn't just come overnight. They were there. One of them, and we were told that players couldn't get released from the club. It was one player from Derby that got released from his club. I have the list. So TikTok, when you're talking, and people call me upset about some of these things, upset losing their minds. I have to calm them down. So when you come on this program, TikTok, saying these things, because you're from the JFF, you're basically lying. That's what you're doing. I'm not going to manage what I'm saying. You're basically lying. The quota policy has been effected, has been implemented. Don't come here and say that because you don't know who you talk to. We don't know who you talk to. We put together money for what was 2 years ago to bring some players here. Some of the players didn't get a look in. Hey, TikTok, don't stop me up. Don't stop me up, TikTok. You're making me upset. Don't stop me up. Don't stop me up. Don't stop me up. Don't stop me up. Tell me about things that I know, which you say don't go so. You're from the JFF TikTok. Of course you're going to defend the JFF. And this wasn't a beat the JFF thing. We just call it the JFF, said them ban YouTube when they know about traditional media. And traditional media criticize them, but they have no strength. TikTok addressed that point. They're not going to do it with YouTubers because they're toxic and they're negative. The Gleaner was negative. Maverick from TVJ was negative. Why aren't they banning them TikTok? You explain to me TikTok. Why are they dealing with them, not dealing with us? Explain that TikTok. Since you're the master of all, you know everything about everything. Kranky doesn't know anything. He's from the diaspora. He's an idiot. Explain that TikTok. I know, but he's from the JFF. It's probably reflective of how he operates. Yeah, he comes here and say all these things. He and Football Guru, TikTok, Football Guru is another one of them actually, all from the JFF, all come in this program trying to defend the indefensible. Right?
I think the real problem was, when you're asking questions, this would be the question that the coach was asked. Basically, had 3 different parts to it, and even the question about the conversation about talent.
Right.
If you're asking question and if you ask 3 questions in one and the person didn't answer them, you'd follow up and try to get clarity, right?
Right.
And that didn't happen, so it just kind of left everything out there.
Yeah, look, it's very. I can understand those press conferences and make excuses for people. It's very difficult sometimes because you get 2 questions and you try to rush through them. But the follow-up question needs to be asked: did you speak to the players' coach, and did they tell you no? That's the question. Don't give me some gray response. Did you speak to those players, and did they tell you they don't want to play for Jamaica? That's the question. Yes or no?
Right. And if you're limited in the questions you could ask, you have to prepare your question properly, that you get the significant, the important part. Sometimes all the narrative around the question distract, because we have a lot of narrative to show that we know what we're talking about, as opposed to asking. We could be a little bit more concise and get to the point. Ask the question, and if you don't get the answer, you follow up.
So here's another thing too. Where's Kevin? Kevin, what are you talking about, Kevin? Why don't you guys just get your stories straight? I just said the JFF says they're not going to engage YouTubers. They're not coming on our channel. They're only going to go in traditional media. What's so hard to understand about that? What is the thing about Bun Gleaner? Gleaner's traditional media. Observer's traditional media. TVJ's traditional media. What don't you understand, Kevin? Or do we have to write it out in bold English and not enjoy enough so you can understand? What are you confused about, Kevin? Jesus. Nobody's disputing this, Henry. We all understand that. The point I'm making, if you have a Jamaica coach recruiting English players, and he say yes, they should do the right thing and play for England because they're young and they think they have a opportunity in England, I have a problem with that. That's not what you say as a coach. You basically say, you know what? I understand why they want to play for England. I can understand them and their sentiments.
Hold on a minute. A.M. Henry says in his spirit, please stop defaming the coach.
Yes.
And now he's saying he did not say.
Now she's saying I did not say you were defaming the coach. But that's what was said. And these things are in writing to people. We're not making these things up enough.
Well, who is defaming the coach then? Is the question that we're going to ask. Who's defaming
the host is the one talking about the coach. So I'm not sure what we're talking about. Here's the point before the game, because I'm going to close this down soon.
People in the comment section.
Okay. Look, I said, and it was on my thing yesterday.
Example, right? Hold on, that's an example, because what he said before, it wasn't clear. So it was directed at you.
Yeah, somebody said I'm defaming TikTok. Not defaming TikTok. TikTok said there's no quota system and it has been affected. And I'm telling TikTok he's talking nonsense. Because I know it's been affected. What are you talking about? You know how much players on there from Chelsea and Tottenham and Middlesbrough and those teams should have been in this team that went to under 20 that got 9 love from the US? You know how many of those players were denied the ability to go?
I heard something in your conversation today that you and Menzies disagreed on. And I thought it was quite interesting. And about
the coach, actually, yeah.
No, it's not about the coach. It was about whether or not if Mason Greenwood come, whether or not he will fill the stadium.
Wait, one second. TikTok. Again, TikTok. TikTok. You're so annoying me. TikTok. I don't hear what TikTok says. I don't think JFF will ban YouTubers. You know the word in the comment, TikTok? I don't think. That means you don't know. If I come here and say certain things, people, because I have evidence, please stop doing that. I was an auditor by trade. We get empirical evidence to substantiate our position. As you know what? You say you have opinion. I'm not guessing these things. This is not something I made up because I want to generate views. I didn't make this up to generate views. The view is that what I was provided with saying we're not going to deal with on a negative. We're not deal with traditional media. Why would I make that? Why would I make that up? Does that make any sense, people? TikTok, please understand. Please deduce things, TikTok. Jesus. Go ahead.
Showman Scott say lawsuit is coming, Kranky.
Bring it on. Bring on the lawsuit. Bring on the lawsuit.
Yeah, what I was saying.
Bring on the lawsuit. Please bring it on.
You and Menzi disagree on whether or not Mason Greenwood will fill the stadium. And I thought
okay. Yeah, that's an interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting.
I think if it's promoted right, he can fill the stadium. But it'd be tough to do because we have. Remember, the game.
Why do you think he will fill the stadium?
Because think about it, the game we were gonna play against was it Dominican Republic, where we went there at 3 o'clock when it was supposed to be 7 o'clock and it changed to 3 because of the lights.
Right.
They still have very good attendance, right? Even though the game time was changed at the last minute, correct? Grandstand was full. They had a number of people in the bleachers. You imagine if 876 or whoever it is running the program really promote this. Mason Greenwood coming. We have all the other players, the Blakes, the Lowe's, the Baileys, come to the state. Can you imagine? And we're bidding up for the World Cup. New coach. That momentum would drive traffic to the stadium. I may even go to Jamaica for the Mason Greenwood coming. I may fly. If you and I talk about the other day how expensive that thing is. But you know what? I may say, you know what? I don't know people in diaspora. I know people in diaspora would go. I know AQ and all these people would go. I know a bunch of people are going to go. So if we can bring a very good team, the Bailey's coming, the Gray's coming, the Antonia's coming, Ambari Bell, Pinnock, Mason Greenwood. We're playing a good team under the lights. Because you tell me how the lights are. I haven't seen the lights, but you tell me the lights are brilliant. Yes, I think that the stadium would have, it may not be full, but it'd be a lot of people.
Well, as I heard somebody said the other day, I heard a young lady said the other day that maybe is Jamaica the Man City of CONCACAF?
Who's the Man City of CONCACAF?
Jamaica.
Who said that?
A young lady on a program on a podcast.
What does she mean? What does she mean by that?
Well, the quality of the players that.
No, I think the US is the Man City of CONCACAF.
Actually, I need to send you that conversation.
That doesn't make any sense. Here's somebody just saying he's going down agreeing to making his debut. I'm telling you, a bunch of people going down agreeing making his debut.
She's Jamaican. And
yeah, but she's a little bit confused. We're not the Man City of CONCACAF.
No, you gotta listen to the conversation.
No, I don't have to listen to the conversation. We're not the Man City of CONCACAF. What have we won? We won like 6 or 7 titles of the last 8. Really?
Well, she's talking about the resources that you have available.
No, there are potential resources, not real resources. They're potential.
Well, now they have potential resources. But you have quite a few.
So CC's flying down in his bike? It is from Clarendon. No, I think a lot of people attend the game if Greenwood is going. Greenwood is like, hey, look, people, Greenwood scored 5 goals in 3 games in League One. Greenwood's cheering at this. Quality footballer. If Bailey goes there over his injury, if the rest of the players come, if we're playing a good team and people are motivated and the JFF do a good job of promoting it, yes, I think people will come out to the games. A lot of people come to the games.
That's about half a dozen things you said, if, you know.
Well, they all ifs, aren't they? They all not, yeah. Yeah, I know, but TikTok is from the JFF, Brian Burke. He's from the JFF. JFF has people in all these forums, you know, and they collect all the information. They say that's what they talk about. Somebody mentioned they are mad because they say we use derogatory names. I'm not gonna dispute some of this. 3-card man, I put in my music because I thought it was cute. Because what it is that if one person kept saying something and somebody saying something, you can't get your story straight, or you say things which will go so people gonna give you a name. And we have evidence for this. When the coach was leaving, I was told by one partner in JFF that I knew he was going to leave. And it was communicated to the members of the board and others. And the other person coming saying, I never had no idea the coach was leaving. How do we get it so wrong? And then you come cuss YouTubers to say we're just negative. You explain that TikTok. One senior executive said he knew they were leaving. He communicated to the board. Another executive was on the board saying, I have no idea he was leaving. Really? And then you guys are saying it's the YouTubers who are poor in their assessment, poor in their communication. They're toxic. They're negative. They want nothing good for Jamaica. Those from diaspora, all they think about is themselves. They think they know everything. They don't do anything for the program. What are we going to do? It is what it is.
I find that, back in Trinidad, people sing music, Calypsonians sing music, and sometimes politicians, people in position of power, they get aliases, through the music, and everybody just kind of roll with it,
Yeah.
I find the response in this space has been a little bit sensitive. If they didn't come to see Bailey, they're not coming to see Greenwood and Mars.
Bailey is not Greenwood. Nobody said Bailey is going to be the best footballer in the world, best forward in the world. TikTok? Nobody has said Bailey was going to be the best forward in the world. Alex Ferguson said Greenwood, when he was asked by Gary Neville, which I played on this channel a couple of times, has the potential to be the best forward in the world. Nobody said this about Bailey. TikTok, there are levels, TikTok. There's levels. There are levels.
Wait, hold on.
Wait. You see what he said here? He says that you're making up things, Kranky. I never hear that story about executives not knowing. So, okay, TikTok. If I bring you the evidence, TikTok, and I play it here, what are you going to say, TikTok? I have to go do some research, TikTok, and do some search. If I come TikTok and one person said he has no idea, and one person says he knew this was happening, what would you say, TikTok? Because somehow the JFF hasn't taught you how to think sometimes, TikTok. Because you say things which you can't back up. You say things without evidence. I'm telling you, I have evidence of this. It's the one thing about this, TikTok. In this space, it's all recorded. When you say something to the media, it's recorded, and we can go find it on YouTube. So we're going to do some research, TikTok. Since you're challenging my integrity, you're challenging the accuracy of what I've just said, we're going to find it and play it for you. All right.
No, I think his objective is to make him miserable.
That's okay. That's okay. He's doing a good job.
him and Yadi, I think they just come to make him miserable.
Yeah. But I ignore Yadi sometimes. Yadi did the same thing on Balance Views, which I have put on hold. Okay, Yadi come on Balance Views and say some outrageous things. He's a Trump supporter. Yadi, we can't talk to Trump supporters. Nobody wants the low-level French league. So that's where TikTok, that's where you go to TikTok? Really, TikTok? That's where you go to? Low-level French league. Really? A lot of ballers in England and in Germany and in League One come from the French league. Just saying. And Mbappe was in the French league. Messi was in the French league. Neymar was in the French league. TikTok. But I know you don't know this, TikTok. I know you don't know this. Because you only follow Jamaica football. So you would know this. So I'm giving you information, TikTok. You can run with it. And by the way, he was at Qatafi, where he was Player of the Year, TikTok. And he was in the England squad at 19, TikTok. Just for your information. You probably don't know these things, TikTok, but I'm just trying to tell you. Because if you're from the JFF, you wouldn't know this. But you guys don't do recruiting. But what am I saying? If you're from JFF. I know you're from the JFF, but you guys don't follow these players. We do TikTok religiously. Every day we follow them. And we give them credit when they deserve. And that's why what's it, Ellie Queep was praising him, and all the Marseille fans who were anti him are now buying his jerseys. And his jersey is the best-selling jersey. But TikTok, you wouldn't know this. Because you don't follow the players like we do. Because we do so we can bring substance to these forums. But you just come in to criticize. Which you do brilliantly, by the way. You're and Yardi are Mr. Anti. But anyway, before the game, let me close this down by saying, before again, thanks for calling. I appreciate you.
Yeah, brother.
All right,
okay?
All right. All right, people. First of all, I want to say this. I appreciate everyone who's been in the chat today. Let me make a couple comments. You know what? Let me call this person first who's calling me before I say no. I should call back the person first, people. And if somehow the number is not coming up, and close it out this evening with that person. Let me call them back. And then we close the program down. Omar, you gotta try to convert people to Omar. But I look like I'm useless in this case. Yadi, stop telling people how you operate. They don't want to hear that.
Please leave your message for 3.
All right, the person is no longer there. I was calling the person who's calling me back. Let me just close up by people saying this. Our job as YouTubers is to try to bring as accurate information to the forum as possible. Right? That's the view. We may not always get it right. All YouTubers are not the same. We all operate differently. The space get more and more people into every day. The space is a broad space. The space can accommodate everyone. You can't paint everyone with the same brush because we're not all the same. Right? Are we critical when it comes to football in Jamaica, players, fans, everything? Yeah. That's the football community in general. Because I follow football in a lot of different jurisdictions, mainly the EPL, and fans criticize 24/7. You watch talks, you listen and watch talk sports, listen to other programs, you listen to call-in shows, you listen to writing shows. It happens. The objective is not to be disruptive or to denigrate anyone. It's to provide a perspective of view. The JFF has had problems over the years, and it's not to do with Kranky or Minzy, anybody in this space. Go type into it. Go to Perplexity and type in about the JFF and the challenges, and it comes up. That's nothing to do with YouTubers. Right? That's nothing to do with YouTubers. So to blame YouTubers for some of these things, yes, some YouTubers, I'm sure some of us can be toxic, including yours truly. And you're viewing it to be poisonous because what we say may not align with your thoughts and your perspective, so you may not like it. I understand that. But to say you're going to not talk to YouTubers because they critique you or you think they're negative, when traditional media does the same thing and say you should resign or the president doesn't do his job really well and they're just as negative or call you vultures, how is that fear? Right? Because you're going to pick on the people who don't have the resources to challenge you or who you may be afraid of or who may not carry your message the way you want to be carried. We're just trying to get it right. We may not always get it right, but don't target us. I don't believe in targeting anyone. I'm going to call what I see. If I call out the coach or some things he said, because it's my view and my perspective, this is what I see. I'm the one who said, and it was in my thing yesterday to say, you know what? I want McLaren to be here. I want to do well. But if you're going to say things which I don't agree with, I'm not going to sit here and say I agree and be a hypocrite say I agree with him because I don't. Hey, Brian Burke, I've retired from the Parkway. I no longer go to the Parkway. Stopped going a few years ago. I hope you had fun, by the way. I hope it was good. So if people are going to be in their feelings and get upset with us and say they're not coming back on YouTube and they're not going to deal with YouTubers, that's their prerogative. They can do what they want to do. But if you're going to dissect the media, bifurcate the media, and deal with one side of the media, how is that fair to anybody? All you're doing is just justifying or satisfying what we believe the way you operate. That's all you are. So you can say what you want to say. You can do what you want to do. Nobody can tell what you do because you're in power for the next 4 years. And you operate that way. You make us know that we don't matter. And we understand that we don't matter. But the football matters to us. We know you think we don't matter. We know you think we don't add any value. And we understand that. But I hate to tell you this. We're going nowhere. We're going nowhere. Right? Hey, TikTok. People say I should ignore it. So I'm going to do that from now on, TikTok. I'm not putting up any of your comments because you just talk nonsense. So I'll close up by saying this, people. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate each of you. Thanks for hitting the like button. The objective and goal of myself, I can talk for all YouTubers, is to bring quality content to the YouTube space. I may not always get it right. I may sometimes seem a little bit critical. If you do good, you get larger comments and get compliments. If you don't do good, I'm going to say you don't do good. I can't help you for doing that. I cannot say something good when it's not good. If you tell me you see talent on the island, I'm sure there's some talent, but the talent that manifests itself against the competition I think it should, I'm going to question you and what you're saying. Right? If the talent was playing against what we deem to be the competition in this region and they're playing well, they're going to get all the larger comments. They're going to get all the compliments. I'm going to watch them play. But they go get 9-0, I'm not going to feel good. And if you don't come out as JFF, you keep telling me about you're going to do post-mortem, but you jump out when the under 14 wins and you take all the comment. You have a press conference with the president for under 14 and you praise and you're happy. I'm happy for those kids. But what about the under 19 kids? They're neglected. What do you do with them? The ones who got a drubbing when they play. What do you do with them? Huh? Well, TikTok, I'm blocking you. So you can say, I'm going to do like the JFF doing to us. I'm going to put your comments up TikTok. Talk to yourself, TikTok. I'm going to do like JFF is doing to us. Talk to yourself. We're talking to ourselves on YouTube. I'm not putting any more of your comments. I'm done putting your comments up TikTok. So you can say all you want to say. I'm going to do like how the JFF has done. I'm going to block you by not put your comments. You can type all you want to type, but I'm going to put your comments up. I mean, if I can know, I'm putting the comments around you. I ain't putting up any of your comments. That's how it feels, TikTok. I know you're from the JFF. We're going to ignore people who are not adding any value to the program and just deal with those who are adding value. That's what JFF is doing to us. So people, I'm going to sign off by saying, have a wonderful evening. I can't guarantee a show tomorrow. Still trying to do some stuff here. And I have some personal stuff to take care of. But if I have time, I will, Brian, I'm just going to ignore him from now on because I can't do that. There have people I've blocked in a TikTok, but I'm not blocking you because I'm not going to block somebody who have an opposite view to me. But if they're disrespectful, I'm going to block them. You haven't been disrespectful. You have your own view, right? Somebody was disrespectful to me. 2 people have been disrespectful to me. I don't engage people who are disrespectful because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anyone. But you're providing an opposite view, and that's your view, TikTok. Can't fight you for that. But I'm going to wish you good luck, TikTok. I'm going to let you up. By the way, TikTok, go tell the Gleaner that they're negative too. Go tell Maverick to stop calling the JFF Vulture. Go on Maverick channel to call the JFF Vulture. Okay, TikTok? And by the way, TikTok, the US chased Balogun for 2 years, TikTok. But you would know that because you're from the JFF. Anyway, people, enough of TikTok. Triple E, Juras before the game, Brian, Hala Madrid, Aim Henry, if they try to beat me to that, Aim Henry, Brian Burke, everyone, Juras, bless up. Have a wonderful evening. Omar Folding, I appreciate everyone. And Conrad and others. And hopefully I'm back here tomorrow. You don't have to go out playing my little old song, people. So good night. Take care. Bless up. Appreciate you. Bye. Kranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Kranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Kranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Kranky life, get to know the name because Kranky analysis is never lame. Kranky life, give me my Kranky life. I want my Kranky life. Must have my Kranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Kranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Kranky life. Tell them, Kranky life. Heed them, Kranky life. Want them, Kranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Kranky Live. Tune into Kranky Live. Like up Kranky Live. Subscribe to Kranky Live. Kranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Kranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Kranky will always bring the heat. Kranky Live. Me say fi tell them Kranky life. Me say fi heed them Kranky life. On them Kranky life. Kranky life will be around. Kranky life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Heed them, want them. heed them, want them, cranky, cranky, cranky life, cranky, cranky, cranky life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Cranky, cranky, cranky life, cranky, cranky, cranky life, cranky. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed, want, heed, want, heed them.